Heaven or hell?
Heaven,
Why?
because I repent for my sins and I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, that he died on the cross.
Remember the first commandment? You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. That's the first and greatest commandment. That means you should never be too busy for God.
Yeah, you're too busy. That's the problem right there. You gotta be not busy. You gotta be bored. That's right. Otherwise, it's evil or something. Anyway, this is Ray Comfort, and he's going on about Elon Musk, which I think we finally agree on somebody being bad, that they're bad. What they're doing is alarming. But I think it's unfortunately for different reasons, some of which he's just wrong about. But anyway, we're going to get into it. I am Brentley, and this is the Apostate. Let's go. Let's go. So we got this. All right. So this is, like I said, Elon Musk. He's talking about Elon Musk. Let's see what he's complaining about. I honestly, my eyes glazed over and forgot that I was even watching this before. So anyway, here we go.
I don't mind admitting that Elon Musk is one of my heroes. I marvel at what he's accomplished.
Okay, that's weird right there. I mean, just the fact that that he has done, Sieg Heils from behind the White House podium, as well as, bringing back a bunch of white supremacist accounts on Twitter that had been blocked for hate speech and everything. Calling him your hero, weird. That's just, you could say that he's done some cool stuff, even though he actually hasn't. He stole most of his stuff from actual smart people, but that's a whole different conversation for another time. Anyway,
he is beyond genius. But
okay, maybe it's not another time. We're gonna have to have this conversation now. He didn't do a lot of this stuff. He just bought stuff that other smart people already did, and then just combined. What's the past tense for combined? Do you know? That's them. I don't know either. Anyway, he just took stuff that other people did, smart people, and put it together with other things that other smart people did, and then took the credit and all the money for all of it.
Some say there are reasons to be very concerned about Elon and some of the things he's doing. Are they right or wrong about this? Here are concerns that many have highlighted.
Well, first of all, his Fast and Furious fashion is just terrible, man. Come on. I know. What are you doing? Are you racing cars on your free time? What is this?
But first, let's look at some of his accomplishments.
It's a grok theme. I didn't notice that. Hold on. Look. I just noticed it right before.
Things he's doing. Are they right or wrong about this? Here are concerns.
It says grok on his jacket. He has a grok leather jacket just to make it more, like, even more lame somehow. Not only is it a Fast and Furious looking jacket, like something Vin Diesel would even be like, okay, this is pushing it. I don't know, man. Kind of feel like I'm overdoing the stereotype here. But like, to have grok on it just sort of cancels out all the cool, Anyway.
The many have highlighted. But first, let's look at some of his accomplishments. He started Zip2, a software company that provides business directories and maps for newspapers. It was sold in 1999 for $300 million.
Okay, I didn't even know about that one. Zip2. I thought it was just the PayPal thing that he so badly wanted to call X back then. And they're like, no, dude, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. Like, nope. Like, why do you want to call it X? Because I wanted it. I want it to be called X. I want everything to be called X. Oh, it's my favorite letter.
He founded PayPal, which he sold for $1.5 billion. He founded SpaceX and developed...
There it is. Yeah. PayPal. Okay. So that was his second venture. Got it. Okay.
Reusable rockets.
Pretty sure landing burn startup.
13 of those Raptor engines, and this view is incredible right now.
Startup. Reusable rockets that kept exploding and were not really reusable, and ended up getting him in a fight with the FFA because, falling debris all the time kind of gets in the way of the safety of the planes that are supposed to be in the air. Anyway.
This car should be off target.
Look at that guy. I love this guy in the corner.
This car should be off target.
Oh my God. I gotta hold my brain in, otherwise it's gonna explode up.
He created Tesla.
Musk's latest unveiling is
Created Tesla.
a motorhome priced at an astonishing $15,000.
He founded Neuralink.
Have you seen those? Have you ever seen those videos where it's like these car enthusiasts, I guess you could say, they basically go and test the durability of different kinds of cars, and they sort of went viral when it came to them messing with Tesla. Almost, I mean, because everybody seemed to think that it was like almost parody how easily those things fall apart, like especially the Cybertruck, which can't believe that's the actual name of that vehicle. The Cybertruck had it was like plastic. Like the dude would just like grab it, the bumper, and he could just click, 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 and just unclick the whole thing by just pulling a little bit. Like you could literally, like, in Street Fighter, where you can like beat up the car or whatever, and like how damaged the car is. That's like how well you do for that whatever round, it's like, oh, it's got the broken windshield, it's got all this stuff. Like a fucking grandma could do that shit with a Tesla and just win whatever the highest level of that round is in Street Fighter, because those Cybertrucks are just so goddamn brittle. It's hilarious.
A brain-machine interface technology.
You've heard what my guests feel are benefits of human microchipping, but what about the concerns?
Dr. Phil, before you asked how many of you would have an implant, I didn't lift up my hand, but there's one case who would do it. Elon Musk is wanting to put implants into the head.
Okay, so this whole video was just for Ray. Hi. I was on Dr. Phil. I was. That's right. I gotta get that in the video. I gotta show my question. Oh, congratulations, man. Aren't you like not allowed to watch Dr. Phil, man? Isn't there like swearsies and probably blasphemes just all over the place in that show, dude? Like, you allowed to watch that?
To help people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.
Implanted in your skull.
So if I forget my password, I'm going to write it on the back of my hand. I'm not going to have it implanted in the back of my hand.
An increasing
Good one, man. That was smart. I like that.
number of analysts believe that Musk may indeed be preparing a device capable of becoming the most radical technological.
I honestly didn't even hear. Hold on. So let me go back to his actual question. Now I'm like, wait a second, but what actually? I ADHD'd out. I was thinking about a billion different things. Hold on.
I didn't lift up my hand, but there's one.
You've heard what my guests feel are benefits of human microchipping, but what about the concerns?
Dr. Phil, before you asked how many of you would have an implant, I didn't lift up my hand, but there's one case who would do it. Elon Musk is wanting to put implants into the head to help people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.
Implanted in your skull.
So if I forget my password, I'm going to write it on the back of my hand. I'm not going to have it implanted in the back of my hand.
An increase.
Oh, okay. That's why I guess I ADHD'd out, because it was just so goddamn ridiculous of a question. So because people might, like he said, he would have it implanted for people with Alzheimer's and stuff like that. And I guess what he's taking away from that is that you're going to have a bunch of messages like implanted in your brain to help you remember stuff. Is that what he thinks the chip would be for, as far as like how to help those patients? Is that really okay? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his chip was supposed to do, but I doubt it's like notes in like permanently in their brain, but like a memento kind of thing, but digitally, a digital memento of just a bunch of notepads, just all in the way of everything you're trying to see. You know, when you're trying to pour milk into your cereal in the morning, you're like, hold on, I can't aim the milk because I got all these notepads in the way. Hold on a second, I gotta move. Okay, now I can see. There we go. Now I can pour the milk.
A number of analysts believe that Musk may indeed be preparing a device capable of becoming the most radical technological leap since the arrival of the iPhone. It is a technology implanted directly beneath the skin of a person's hand. Imagine a device that
or forehead. But nobody picks that one because that's dumb, you know?
Constantly knows where you are, what you see, what you are talking about, and even what signals are passing through your nervous system. What happens if these technologies become so useful that refusing an implant is perceived as rejecting modern society itself? People could find themselves in a situation where AI integration becomes almost mandatory for remaining competitive in society.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
In essence, humanity could enter a new...
I mean, my God, the way they go back and forth on this stuff is just super funny. Like the ID thing, isn't that like because they kind of jumped on the hysteria train for, you know, about immigrants and shit, and that's like why they do it, the ID thing. But now Ray Comfort's looking at this, you know, being like, oh no, it's bad, you know, you can't. Oh, the ID. Yet he supports the current administration that was basically the foundation for why they wanted to do that in the first place. But anyway,
stage of digital dependence.
He created the amazing Boring Company. He co-founded OpenAI, artificial intelligence AI that benefits humanity. He invented the first flying car. He has provided an...
Doesn't look like a car, dude. You know, that look just like a plane, but saying a flying plane is just sort of redundant, you know.
Amazing $10,000 house. He created the supersonic space jet, and he invented a car.
Hey, so why aren't we using any of this shit, dude? Like, if this stuff is so impactful, why the fuck are we not? Like, why are all the houses costing a hell of a lot more than $10,000? What's up with that, dude?
That runs on water.
The person of the year is...
Wait, what? That's just not even real. Wait a second.
Provided an amazing $10,000 house. He created the supersonic space jet, and he invented a car that runs on water.
The person of the year is Elon Musk. He is reshaping life on Earth and possibly life off Earth as well. And this is someone also who, in becoming the richest person in the history of the world this year, really speaks to the moment we're in, to this very complex moment in the world.
Some kind of brain.
Hold on. Did he just say that he thinks that Elon Musk invented a car that runs on water, man? It runs on water, man. Water. Like what? That's not real, dude. That's not real. Hold on, let me look this up. Because I'm like that, like maybe 3 seconds ago, he invented a water engine that I'm unprivy to. But I'm almost positive that's just a false claim all the way around. Let me see. Hold on. Did Elon, can I just use his first name? You think the Googles are going to know if I just first name Elon Musk? Invent, I'm going to go for it. Invent an, got to be proper. You know, here, you know, it will not, it'll start making fun of you. It'll call you stupid and stuff if you put in like incorrect spelling and stuff like that. What, it doesn't do that? Oh, well, I thought it would. That's why I didn't. That's why I usually don't do it. It runs on water. No. Of course, man. No, Elon Musk did not invent an engine that runs on water. This is a common internet myth in the popular subject of clickbait videos. God, Ray, all you're doing is showing that you don't know how to think in the modern era, dude. Like, it just demonstrates to everybody how simple these people are. They're incapable of thinking critically, mainly because that's their whole bag, is encouraging people to exactly not think critically. But anyway,
machine interface that can give you
hilarious.
cybernetic superpowers, I think is probably good.
Cybernetic superpowers, I would imagine. That'd be a good thing. Maybe I'm crazy or something. Go fuck yourself, Elon. Holy shit. Let's say hey to everybody. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? Everybody's looking good. That's for sure. I know one person on their way to North Carolina that's looking quite fabulous today. And of course, the human encyclopedia fabulitanica, Ember. How you doing, Ember? I don't think I said that right, but it sounded fucking awesome in here. You should have heard it in here, Ember, before it made its way through the mess. Michael, what's up, dude? How we doing? What's up, everyone? Got Flip Normal. How you doing, Flip? What's going on, dude? Had a Filipino parade / festival at the park across the street yesterday. Pretty sure I ate my body weight in scallops. Insulted me. God, I love scallops, but I hate there's sand in there. There's always sand, and it gets in my teeth. I hate. God, that drives me. That's like torturous, literally. That's how somebody, like, if anybody wanted information out of me, sand in the mouth, I'm spilling guts. I don't care. That's literally all it would take, and I would give up just everything. I that's it. Elon Musk. Yeah, mouse. That's good. It does kind of look like a mouse, actually. So I feel comforted already. That's good. Giselle, what's up, Giselle? How we doing? Hell yeah. Let's see who else we got here. Second. I don't know if I can say that name right. Jasper, what's up, dude? I didn't even see you there. Sorry. What's up, Jasper? Hey. And then we got, we'll just say Sasha. What's up, Sasha? How you doing? We got, Drizillax. That must be a clone, like Drizilla's clone, you know, kind of like Superboy or Supergirl. Which of the super people was the clone that Lex Luthor made? You know, never mind. Doesn't matter. And there's the good-looking fella that's in North Carolina now. How's it going, dude? It's North Carolina, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think that was right. But here we go. If you declare, oh God, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Time is short. We are living in the end times. It's amazing. We've been living in these here end times for just so goddamn long. It's kind of lost its sting as a threat there, because it's just not ever happening. It's kind of just, no, we're not. No, you're wrong. But I love this one too, because it's like one of my favorite verses, since it's one of the verses that they love to use the most. And the reason they love to use it so much is it's just sort of like, just fake it. Just fake it. Just pretend my religion is true and say it out loud, and then just fake it until one day you forgot that you're faking it. And then you just keep on doing it and be like, yeah, it's true. I forgot why though. It's true because I decided it was a long time ago, and then just sort of forgot that that's what it was me deciding stuff, and then kind of just kept going with it. That was it. That's how we got here. Unbelievable. Yeah, they're like, just decide that it's true. Just act like it's true. Just start pretending, and then you'll forget you're pretending, and then we're good to go. Yeah, that's just called how brainwashing works, really. It's just like, anyway. Let's see, got anything? All right. So Ray's fangirling over the ability to be born rich and scam people. That makes sense. Yeah, pretty much. Sounds about right. Oh, I do? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that, you know. I try to do the opposite, you know. I try to lift people up, but I'd imagine it's because you're wrong about a bunch of stuff, and so, you know, hearing people that are not wrong, depressing. I know. I remember being there. I remember being wrong constantly, and it was quite depressing. So I get it. I get it. You should stop being wrong. That's how you deal with that.
Could, help people that have brain or spine injuries, enable people who've never spoken for years to speak again, which we've done. Give people eyesight who have lost both eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never even seen at all, blind from birth, by direct interface to the optical centers in the brain.
I feel like I've seen that movie, right? The guy that's blind, you know, from birth, and then he gets to see, I think it's called At First Sight, right? That was you've seen that one, right? The romantic not a comedy, just romantic. That's it. I think probably a tragic. I don't remember at the end. He probably died at the end, didn't he? It's one of those tragic love stories.
You can actually restore eyesight or give people eyesight that they've never had before. And you can enable people to walk again, which I think is profound. I mean, these are kind of Jesus level things, like, let's say, like when technology is.
Hold on. What the hell did he just say? I don't think you're allowed to say stuff like that.
Are you about to engage in blasphemy?
Sounds like he is. Sounds like he is currently engaged in that their blasphemy. Can't have it. Not allowed to do that.
Or hitting like Jesus level miracles, that's pretty good.
You get to like Jesus level miracles, you're like, that's pretty good. Whatever. Oh, I'm amazing. God, I'm so good.
Biographer talking about his personality.
He has many personalities, but there's times he goes into what Claire Boucher, his occasional girlfriend known as Grimes, calls demon mode. And that's when he gets dark.
So, to sum up, the guy that you're that you consider to be one of your heroes has multiple personalities, and one of them is a demon. That's great, man. That's awesome. Seems kind of contradictory to your worldview, but whatever.
Money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. But AI and humanoid robots.
It stopped being relevant for you in the current, like it's been irrelevant for you for God knows how fucking long. The fact that you still think about it is weird, honestly. You have so much you don't need to think about it, and yet that's all you do. Like, I just need a little more, though. A little more of the too much that I've got that I could never possibly spend in literally a million lifetimes. But just give me more. Just more. I need more.
Robots will actually eliminate poverty.
Keep watching until the end.
If we eliminated you, we could eliminate poverty, dude. Holy shit.
And I'll tell you why I have prayed for Elon Musk every day for years. What he says is both amazing and tragic.
Have you heard of Elon Musk?
Good job, both sides in this. Oh, he's the guy's a SpaceX guy. See, he targeted this guy.
Is that a SpaceX jet? Oh, I gotta talk to that guy. Yeah, he's right on topic.
He wants to put a chip in your brain. I've heard about that, yeah.
I think that would be awful.
Would you ever let
I don't think he wants to put a chip in their brain. Just, people that have certain injuries that might want it, right?
someone put a computer chip in your brain?
Most definitely not. That sounds like the mark of the beast or something like that.
It does seem very controlling in a sense.
Would you ever let someone do that to you? Put a chip in your brain?
Probably not.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's just a weird question to have, like just zero context question.
Would you let someone put a chip in your brain? Would you do that?
It's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Hold on. Gisela said, Is demon mode when he assaults women? Probably. No, actually, that's his friendly mode. Demon mode is way worse. I know. Most people, that's what their demon mode would be, but that's actually his good mode. So you can only imagine what demon mode would include. Anyway, what's up, John? How we doing, dude? It's good to see you. Oh yeah.
Could lead to them tracking me in the future, like Big Brother type.
Yeah, they're not doing that now with the cell phone that you have with your GPS clicked on so that they can see no matter where you're at that there you are. You got to delete Messenger. Okay. That's where all your data is coming from right there. Okay. You can do the exact same shit without the Messenger app. It's kind of completely unneeded. You can do it all through the Facebook. You don't need the Messenger app. Delete that shit. That's my point.
I would not do that. I'm sorry. Probably have to shave part of my head, so no. No.
Clearly asking young people. But I'd have to shave part of my head to put that in there. Do they put it into your mouth? No. If they can put it in through my eyeball, then I think I'd be down. But shaving a part of my head, no, absolutely no. Just stick it in through my eyeball. I'll be good.
It could benefit society.
Do you believe the Bible?
Yes, I do. I feel like I'm too busy to sin. I'm just so busy staying up late, studying for classes, and
that's like at the beginning when he was shaming him for being busy, too busy for God. That's why, because he said he was busy. My God, the tactic that this guy uses is just so grimy. It just feels gross. He just takes anything that you say about yourself personally, and then tries to use it to shame you into feeling guilty, so that then he can manipulate you into at least pretending for the video's sake that his religion is true.
So on Judgment Day, bearing in mind you're a self-admitted liar, a blasphemer, and an adulterer at heart, you're going to be innocent or guilty of breaking those commandments.
Very guilty.
Heaven or hell?
Very guilty. I'll be extra guiltier.
Heaven.
Why?
Because I repent for my sins and I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, that he died on the cross.
Remember the first...
It's I know all the religious things that I'm supposed to say, even though you're still going to continue to shame me anyway, even though I said all the right stuff, but whatever.
Commandment, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. That's the first and greatest commandment. That means you should never be too busy for God. I want to see...
You should never be too busy. That's a crime right there. Feel guilty. Feel really bad. Now let me control you.
You in heaven, not in hell. Judas followed Jesus, but he got to love money and it messed him up. He was there when Jesus did.
He missed the mark.
That's, from what I understand, is that accurate that it actually means miss the mark? No, that was a different thing. It does actually mean miss the mark, from what I understand. There's other I think it is finished. That is one of the things that they didn't actually say. Anyway, going off on a tangent here. Where was that? I was just about to look at a comment. Oh, there it is. Flip saying, Loki, I would 100% be first in line for a Neuralink and all that tech augmentation. But I'm weird. Yeah. I mean, I know you want to be the first. Trying to think of a superhero that would apply to. There really isn't a good example of one. I guess Lex Luthor kind of did that at some point, but it was different anyway. And he's bad, so I don't, doesn't really help my point. Anyway, so I understand why people hate it and don't trust it. Yeah, but mainly because of the person backing it is extremely untrustworthy. Michael said, and he only keeps the clips that he can edit in a deceitful way. Yeah, basically. That's his whole bag right there. Make an appointment, God. Okay? I'm perfectly willing to sit down. We can hash this whole you existing thing out, but got to set an appointment, and then we got to, make sure that it fits on my schedule, because I don't want to be showing up, or I don't want to say that I could show up to talk to God, and then I can't make it because I got another appointment. I don't want to disappoint the guy, right? So we got to make sure that you schedule it correctly, Anyway,
miracles. He was a believer, but he didn't obey the gospel. You don't want to follow his example. You know what I'm saying?
Look at him, but he's like, you're right. Yeah, I'm exactly like Judas. You're right, because I believe, but then I killed Jesus, and well, I guess I'm not exactly like Judas.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, thanks for listening to me, Aiden. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I will think about it.
Yeah, of course.
I kind of needed this. I feel like lately I've been I haven't thought about it.
I needed to be shamed. I really do appreciate it. I'm a piece of shit to myself, so this actually works out great. You're kind of amping me up to be more cruel to myself, because that's just sort of what I do.
Any of this in a while. I've just been too focused, but I feel like this kind of opened my eyes.
I had this. Yeah, I should be lazier at stuff, man. I'm so busy, just so focused. Ugh. No, I need to be more aloof. Yeah, that's it. And just picture the dude from The Big Lebowski. I need that. That's what I'm going to be from now on. That way I can be a good Christian, never taking that fucking bathrobe off ever again.
It's like existential crisis when I was a kid, and try to figure out what's it all about. And none of the books I read seemed to actually have a good answer.
What the fuck is the word aloof? What does that word mean? I don't know where I heard it. Aloof. What the fuck is that word? It is a great word, but I got to make sure I'm using it right. Hold on. Aloof is an adjective describing someone who is emotionally detached, uninvolved, or distant. Yeah, no, I used it right. I feel like that was, that was actually pretty good. That was right in the center of the context of that definition.
So I read all the religious texts, and I read a bunch of philosophy books, and
yes, aloof. What is it? You never heard of those? Not two loofs, just the one loof.
Quite depressing. If you don't really know what the meaning of life is, trying to figure out the meaning of life, and what does it all mean? Because it sort of seemed quite meaningless. I was trying to figure out what's the meaning of life, and there didn't seem to be any good answer. I was just very curious about the world, and how do we come to be here? What's the meaning of life, and all that, and
what is going on? Is Ray like, I need to talk to him? I actually know. I know what the meaning of life. I just got to tell him. I need him to sit down with me. Boy, it's too bad. Maybe Dr. Phil can get me to sit down with him.
I always had a really intense desire to understand things and learn.
Yeah, unless it's social issues, then it's a mind virus. Understanding things.
Yeah, I had sort of an existential crisis, I guess, when I was 11 or 12 or something, just trying to figure out what it's all about, and ultimately came to the conclusion that we don't really know the answer, but if
we came to the conclusion of nobody knows.
Increase the scope and scale of civilization, then we have a much better chance of understanding the meaning of life and why we're here, or even what are the right questions to ask.
For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. How is that? Ray, what are you doing, man? How does this have anything to do with that? You're just saying like he's asking these questions, therefore he's saying out loud that he is lost? Is that what you're trying to get at?
There need to be things that make you look forward to waking up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you look forward to the day, forward to the future. A future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think that's very exciting.
Pray for Elon to come to faith and pray for the future of humanity as we face this unknown beast called artificial intelligence.
We're not. Why are you showing Mars? You forgot what he was doing there. He's like,
Oh yeah, wait, we're not talking about going to Mars. I mean, he just was, but not now. We're talking about doing the AI. What am I doing?
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
If you're fascinated by Bible prophecy and you enjoy apologetics, you
okay, that was. I'm sorry, that was just so out of the blue. Hold on.
Called artificial intelligence.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
If you're
that was it. That was the end of the video. This is just his ad that he puts at the end of all of his videos. If you are, what did he say?
And pray for the future of humanity as we face this unknown beast called artificial intelligence.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
Oh, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning a demon. Okay. My goodness. And then you went and bought one. You literally bought an AI, like bot, whatever the fuck. Grok. That's his AI. He bought that.
If you're fascinated.
Jesus. I kind of want to get the Evidence Study Bible now I think about it. I would actually like to go and read through it, you know. Jesus. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let me ban that one. Then there was not going to be anything serious coming out of that guy. That's for sure. You just hear him screaming, and you got Muslim cocksucker. Okay, man, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? I don't know where they get that from. You guys, you atheists, love Muslims. Okay, that's I mean, and I do. I love Muslim people, but I think the beliefs are shit. But just as much as the Christian beliefs are shit. So I don't really prop one up over any other one because, well, mainly because they're so ambiguous. There's so many different versions of both, and either one of them can be anywhere from mild to extreme and everything in between. So to me, it's weird to act like Islam is the most evil thing ever. Or the people, it's the people. And mostly it's because of both immigration, all the push for the media to push that narrative, as well as now we're at war with Iran. So they're really going to push the anti-Muslim propaganda right now. But anyway. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, okay. This one's fun. So this lady, I always forget her name. Damn it.
So on Judgment Day.
Nope, not that. We already did that. Where's that? There it is. This lady is so fun. Taylor Alicia. That's right. She is hilarious, really. And she's saying that there's apparently she knows about all the Disney movies, the second they even talk about maybe coming out. She already knows about it. Disney's Hexed. I don't know what this is. I haven't heard of it. And I'm pretty good about being up to date with Disney's release schedule. I have Disney Plus. So it's just strange that she manages to know about everything. They must have played one ad and she's like, God, I gotta make a video. And that's where we're at here. Because apparently it's about a witch. And what that means. Fundy freak out time, All right, here we go.
Just the other day, Disney released its teaser trailer for its newest movie, Hex, and they bravely left the comment section open. And if you head to the comments, you will be met with hundreds of people noticing.
Okay, so I guess she said it was their first sneak preview, just released. so she's got to make a video. Nobody's even ever heard of this yet, and you're already making fucking videos about it, but whatever.
Saying that Disney is in fact, once again, telling the same story it always does. A young person feels different, family or society misunderstands them, hidden power is discovered. The power becomes part of their identity, and embracing that identity brings fulfillment. So it's happening so often that just about everyone is noticing it, but although they notice that Disney is doing this, what so many fail to realize is why Disney is doing this. Why Disney follows this framework again and again. Well, by the end of today's video, you will have an answer to that question. And in this video, we are all
So it sounds like she's trying to do this whole thing again with Gnosticism, basically saying that like she did a video a while ago where she was trying to say that like every movie ever almost was like some kind of basis for Gnosticism, which basically Gnosticism is basically like, the way that she understands it anyway, is basically like the Bible but backwards. So like God's the bad guy, right? God's like this thing that like set up this system, this oppressive system, and the people or whatever like have free will, and they figure out that, hey, we don't have to like play nice in this system that this tyrant is demanding that we play nice within. We can actually step outside of what quote unquote we're supposed to do, so that we can whatever make lives better for more people, and so on and so forth. And that's typically what ends up happening in these movies. And she takes that as Gnosticism, basically like, Adam and Eve, they broke the rules. That means Satan is actually the good guy because he did actually, tell the truth in the garden, whereas God lied, said that you would die that day, and they definitely did not die that day. And the Bible did not say that they would be made to die that day, so that they will die eventually. It didn't say that. It said they would die that day. But anyway, yeah, God lied. Satan told the truth. They just wanted to be, and because Satan said, oh, if you eat like that, then you're going to be like God, knowing the difference between good and evil. But anyway.
also going to look at another pattern that is too difficult to ignore.
Oh, the Spider-Man hand thing. That's not just I love you. That is I love Satan and the Illuminati is the greatest organization of all time. I don't know what it is, but like something with the Illuminati or some bullshit.
Let's dive in. Disney's Hexed follows a girl named Billy who has felt left out and isolated her whole life.
Punk rock, she's punk. You can tell she's got the boots.
My whole life, I felt like there was something wrong with me.
Her bracelet with a purple crystal on it falls off in the bathroom at school. In witchcraft, the purple crystal is most commonly associated with amethyst. In various spiritual or occult traditions, amethyst is often said to represent a spiritual awakening, which we then see Billy have this spiritual awakening firsthand as she discovers she has magical abilities.
Holy smoly.
And she goes
Holy smolies.
home and dabbles even further into the occult. And is eventually pulled
She's got the Doctor Strange sparkle.
down into the dark depths of the earth, where she discovers a spiritual occult book.
Whoa.
Bless you.
Thanks.
She opens this book and it ends
That was better than the book was talking in the eyes and said, bless you. That's good. That's funny.
up being her guide into the world of witches and warlocks. This world is seen as a perfect and happy place.
Legit, dude. It is so true. Hold on. Better than Amber said, honestly, getting a new outfit can unlock superpowers, and that is absolutely very true. I remember a while ago, I wasn't doing too well, I wasn't feeling great, and I got in a bunch of trouble at work. And you know what I did? I went and got a new outfit, and I felt amazing. That's right. It would only cost like $4 because I went to the thrift store and everything was like 50% or everything was like 50 cents. And then I'm pretty sure everything was like on a 50% off sale. So I got everything for like 20 cents. Anyway, it was absurd. But yeah, outfits will do that. She ain't playing. That is absolutely true. Where the hell is the fucking, hold on. I'm like trying to find how you do the, oh, weird. Is it all? Ah, it froze again. That's so annoying. Oh my God. God, StreamYard sucks sometimes. I swear to God. Holy shit. Whatever. So we're just going to have to deal with that thing up in the corner. Whatever. Fine.
Place where she ultimately finds her true self within the occult. And if you head to the comments, most of them read like this: why does it feel like I watched this movie 1,000 times when it hasn't even come out yet? These people are onto something, but they're not asking the bigger question, which is why? Why are we continuously met with characters that are encouraged to look inside of themselves for the answer? That looking.
I don't think that's what they're saying. Think they're talking about, you know, the teenage witch aspect of it all, you know, the fact that there's a show called The Teenage Witch, you know, and then then there's an 80s movie called Teen Witch, and then there's Buffy, she doesn't really have anything to do with that. It's a good show. I like that show. But I just thought I could include it in the list anyway. But it is just a premise that is used over and over again. That's all this is. It's not. She's acting like everybody's on to the Gnosticism angle, and no, they're not. That's not. I don't think anyway. What everybody's looking at here, but maybe, but doubtful.
Inside of yourself will bring you down the right path. And why 99% of the time does that path end up with the involvement into the occult? Why you're seeing this pattern over and over again in children's films is actually very simple. It's because Disney is raising up children in the way they should go. Disney has been and continues to glamorize the occult world so that the children watching will take an interest in it. And that might sound crazy, but look at the generation.
Literally is crazy, dude. Like, I don't know what you want. What movies do you want? Because she's making it sound like any movie that's got magic in it is encouraging children to go learn about the magic. No, most parents teach their kids that magic isn't fucking real, dude. Okay? I know you don't believe that is true, but it is actually true that magic isn't real. I know I flipped it. Sounds kind of weird the way I said it, but no, it's funny because like my family used to do this too, but only because my family taught me that witches and warlocks and demon magic were actually real. So the fact that's a them problem. That was their fault for teaching that. That's not true. But because they care so much, and this lady included, they care so much about just pushing their religion onto the children, you know, that don't know how the world works, and they're like, oh, we got this opportunity to pretend like all my beliefs are true as long as I just hide all of reality from these kids so that they can keep on believing the thing I want them to think. But that's y'all's problem. Not the movies. The movies are just making fucking movies. They're making movies that have magic in it because magic is fun. They're not trying to encourage people to start doing spells and becoming witches, dude. Those are things that are not real. Jesus Christ.
That were raised with Disney.
Hi, my name is Jack, and Jesus Christ saved me out of a past of abuse, addiction, the New Age, the occult, and eventually practicing ceremonial ritual magic in a Masonic temple with a Hermetic occult order.
Okay, you're just sort of... I stopped believing you. That's... She's just like, I did everything, and I even... I used to be a serial killer. I have a closet literally full of skeletons. Okay. You open that thing up and like a cartoon, just skulls just come rolling out because of how bad I used to be. So good thing I'm a Christian now. So you can't arrest me because I'm a Christian now.
Disney discipled me, for lack of better words. I put all of my hope in the movies as a child. I loved the magic in Disney movies. It gave me something to believe in. I found identity in it.
We are now seeing the fruit.
You found identity in the magic in Disney movies. By any chance, were your parents fundamentalists and taught you that magic was actually real, but the satanic kind is bad? Which is that by chance what happened? Probably is. I guarantee it. That's how she ended up at Christianity again, you know?
Of this. So many are now practicing witchcraft like it's a new sport. It's been normalized by the
Like it's a new sport. Good one. That's it. You know, that's similar. That's what it is.
prince of this world. Witchcraft is how the evil spirits and principalities that you
imagine showing this in order to be scary. Like you're gonna show Mickey Mouse get the blue magical hat with the white stars on it as some kind of scary thing that you're trying to push on your audience here. Unbelievable.
cannot see operate here in this world. It wasn't shocking to me to see in the trailer that this movie is being brought to us by the same studio that brought us Frozen. Take a look at Frozen. Did you ever notice that the entire storyline is Elsa concealing witchcraft, and she finds freedom and her true identity when she lets go and embraces the power within herself?
Let it go. Let it go. I don't know the other words. Hold on. No, I'd have to sing it. Let it go. Let it go. I'm not going to do this right now. I should have done this prior to the record so that way I could have this fresh in my mind so I could sing the correct lyrics so that we can so that I can make my point. I'll make your point later that I will say is our point, because then we will both be making the point together. I forgot what I'm doing. Hold on. Let's just continue here.
That is when she is truly free. That is freedom. And the same thing goes for Merida. Merida from Brave, same thing. Feels isolated.
Who? That's funny. I think like everybody's just like forgot about that movie even existing. That thing like came and left. And everybody's like, who the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah. The redhead, the redhead Disney princess that everybody forgets about because it was just a weird movie about somebody turning into a bear, which was not at all what the trailer made it seem like it was going to be about. Anyway,
Left out, ends up seeking help from a witch to change her fate. Magic becomes the catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. And we see it again in the Wish movie. Asha.
The Wish. That was a cool movie, actually. I enjoyed Wish. Chris Pine is the bad guy. He was pretty spot on, you know. It was weird though how much he sounded just like the Spider-Man 2099. I don't know what it is about that guy. It's a totally different Oscar Isaac, but like Chris Pine and Oscar Isaac, they kind of sound similar. I don't know.
Questions her world and feels isolated. She ends up turning to astrology and being led by the stars.
That's right. That's the astrology right here, which is actually just a little star that she wished on. So astrology, shit, right there.
And just like Elsa and Merida, the New Age is where she finds true lasting fulfillment and joy. And what do you know? Again, the same story in Moana. Encouraged to look inside of herself by her grandmother.
We hear a voice inside.
And again, just like these other movies, after she looks inside of herself, she is led into the occult and witchcraft. And you might push back.
My God, imagine thinking this way. So what is your lesson to take away from this, lady? Don't listen to yourself. Don't listen to your like inside, like your gut. Don't listen to that. Listen to whatever somebody convinces you is God saying, whatever it is, you know. My God, lady, Jesus Christ, you're literally telling people not to be able to trust themselves. These movies are actually trying to help people by saying, hey, you should be able to trust your gut. You should be able to follow your own path. You don't have to follow any prescribed path for you. You should be able to decide what your path is. That is a good thing. It is insane to sit here and say that that's like, oh no, it's so bad to like decide for yourself what you want to believe, how you want to live, what you want to do, all those sorts of things. Like that's evil. No, dude, telling people they shouldn't be allowed to do that is what's evil.
On that and say, Taylor, Moana isn't about witchcraft. Well, I would encourage you to look again because the entire movie is about the water spirits. How do you think witches operate? Do you want to know what their Bible is? In witchcraft, earth, air, fire, and water represent the 4 foundational classical.
Just got hair on Michelle. That Heron sounds very similar to what a lot of the older cats would call the drugs on the street. Anyway, but there's different thing.
Elements. And have you seen the exact mention of that in Disney?
Air, fire, water, earth. You know, air, fire, water, and earth.
I mean, they kind of make up our reality, man. Like, like so what? Everything that includes the elements is a problem. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck? So Avatar, not allowed to watch that Nickelodeon cartoon fashioned after Japanese, what are they called again? The anime. Not allowed to watch. You know, that's not actually an anime. Yeah, no, that was American. You know, that was us trying to copy their whole thing. But and then we made Avatar on Nickelodeon.
Yes, but look, there's a 5th spirit, said to be a bridge between us and the magic of nature.
Hey, Bree, what's up? How we doing? What's going on? We also got John. What's up, John? How you doing, dude? It's good to see you. Hell yeah.
A 5th spirit? Do you think that's who's calling me?
All around you are spirits, child. They live in the earth, the water.
I mean, that's literally what they're like. Aren't Native Americans? Aren't they like? Isn't that their actual religion? That, you know, everything has a spirit and all that type of stuff. They're like that kind of pagan belief in the nature and all that type of stuff. Which, honestly, if you ask me, makes a hell of a lot more sense than an undead carpenter ghost that you got to cannibalize every so often because an undead carpenter ghost has to live inside your heart that needed to be sacrificed to himself in order to convince himself to save the world from himself through a loophole that he had to create because he accidentally let free will get out of hand anyway.
The wind.
Yes.
The rules are simple. The only codes you're allowed to use are those involving the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water.
Most powerful man on the planet? As we see the evolution of Aang's power.
Hold on a second. This is awesome. See, this is why I love having folks like Bree and Ember around, because it's just so helpful with the facts over here. Fun fact: ancient cultures believe in 3 elements: earth, air, and water. And fire was the bridge between the physical and the reality of the spirits. So it's more of a conduit rather than an element itself. That's fascinating. I like that. It's pretty cool. Very interesting.
We'll be exploring his growth in all 4 elements. Each will have skills that demonstrate functional and combative proficiency. Also check out his connection to the Avatar state, the spirit world, and energy bending.
Almost every practicing studies these elements. These books.
How many practicing witches do you know? You know a bunch of them? You like close with some covens? Is that what it is? You go to the coven oven bake off? Coven just rhymes with oven, so I had to think of something with an oven, you know, for like this. Anyway, don't they do like baking stuff for like, you know what I mean? Never mind. Just, you know, stop. I could see your judgment. I'm good. Just leave me alone.
Are their Bible. Disney is showing you who they walk with by this pattern, glorifying and promoting the occult. And you'll see that even further in another pattern that Disney follows. That is more subliminal than anything. But again,
is the pattern the hero's journey, where watch this, in all the movies they turn away from the adventure at first. They say no. They always say no, and then the adventure is thrust upon them anyway. Demons, and that's probably the demon witchcraft, Satan. Yeah.
Again, it's a pattern. Something shifts from mere chance to a pattern when the frequency or arrangement of events becomes statistically significant, meaning it is highly unlikely to have occurred by random chance alone. So, with that being said, if Disney features a character doing this hand symbol one time, maybe even 3 times,
I mean, what about Spider-Man? That dude does it all the fucking time, man. And arguably, somebody that has the ability to shoot webs shouldn't have to be doing Illuminati symbols in order to do it. Really, they should be able to just think thoughts and shoot their webs.
You can say that's a mere chance, Taylor. That's a stretch. It's got to be just a weird coincidence that you conspiracy theorists, you crazy Christians, are just noticing. But what about 5 times? Honestly, what about 10 times?
Well, oh my God. You've got to be fucking... Maybe they're trying to subliminally tell everybody to love. You ever thought of that? That's I love you, Maybe the Mad Hatter, the Mad Hatter does, we know, loves tea. And on birthdays.
Merry on birthday.
Hold on, no one can't count. You can't This lady, dude. The way I love pattern recognition and the way people find this shit and then go, well, I must be right because I found the pattern. My goodness. Hold on.
You crazy Christians are
I want to see if I can see all of them.
Noticing. But what about 5 times? Honestly, what about 10 times?
What about 100? Okay, so we got there. Okay, so that's where we're at. Which one is this? Oh, Cinderella, right? Okay, that's that is Alice in Wonderland, right? Cinderella again. You probably should have just put all the Cinderellas together. Snow White. What the fuck? That can't count. How the hell did you even see? Well, that just looks like a snake eating something like a warthog. If there was a tiny warthog that had tusks that stuck out of its face, it doesn't look like she's doing this, is my point, really, She has very large hands. She has big hands. Look at how big they are. And they're both doing, first of all, now they're doing 2 different ones. Which one is it? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's so inconsistent. One is doing this, which is the rock on, by the way. And then the other one is doing the I love you. Yet she's putting them both up here as if that is some kind of, that like somehow fits the criteria for whatever the hell she's, whatever the hell pattern she's finding here. That one's literally it's not even like it's a hand symbol. Like they're using their hand to do something. And they're like, yeah, but they're not using their pointer finger or their pinky. So counts. It counts, even though it's literally holding something. It's also just seems too like, because here's the thing. When you're pausing these movies and everything, you can, like, they're moving their hands like around a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like you could probably find all sorts of hand symbols if you like went through and paused it just right. The coffee, anyway. Because you can. I don't. They're like moving their hands and stuff. It's just also artwork, and hands, as you can see, are not the easiest to draw, right? And so there's a lot of different angles that you see more frequently. One of which would be this one right here. Like all the fingers in a row, so you can kind of see how many fingers they have, and they're in this way that still looks kind of natural, but it's detailed and everything. But I don't see any connection here. Okay, that is the walrus, I think, from the story within the story of Alice in Wonderland. Oh, now that one almost feels like they just drew that in. Is that even real? I don't know. I don't know if that's real or not. Is he naked? Why is he naked? Did he take off his clothes in the movie? What is happening? Is this from a Disney themed porn about mice having sex? What's going on here? Because I could see that being the case. It's like, you don't get to include the porns that are based on it, dude. What the fuck do you think you're doing? No, only the actual movies. Come on.
And we could debate back and forth whether this means rock on or I love you, but
the thumb is what causes the difference there. Okay, this is I love you. This is rock on. Get it right. And this is the devil symbol that I think you're actually thinking of that nobody ever pays attention to, even though that's actually the symbol that they're so truly afraid of. But
make the connections. It's not difficult. Disney has been rooted in the occult since the beginning. I'm working on a big project right now that has been taking me about 4 months behind the scenes on top of creating these videos, but it's in regards to this because it's so overwhelmingly clear that their agenda is sinister and is to advance the kingdom of darkness. So when you see this everywhere in their films, and it also
just the way that they talk about it. Okay, that's rock on. Now she's doing the rock thing, but
so just happens to be the gesture used as a traditional greeting or sign of validation in the Satanic Bible, used during rituals of the Church of Satan. The gesture used as a traditional greeting or sign of validation in the Satanic Bible.
Was the Satanic? Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's not the actual one. I was gonna say, like, because you got the Satanic Bible that was like done by that guy, that Anton LaVey, whatever, who was just a nerd. He was just a terrible, awful nerd. I want to say Behind the Bastards did a breakdown of him, and it was really good. Oh no, you know what it was? Fucking Citation Needed. That's what it was, with all the guys from the Scathing Atheist joining up with the guys from Cognitive Dissonance. And they did a whole breakdown of Anton LaVey. Check it out. Yeah, Citation Needed. It might be like Citation Pod if you're looking for it online. Maybe put Citation Pod. Because I think there's another Citation Needed as well, but I think maybe it's spelled slightly different or something.
Used during rituals of the Church of Satan, often referred to in the tradition as Satan's greeting. I'm sorry, but it becomes hard to just glance over that. I also find it to be
Satan's greeting. Hello. And they got it all through the movies. Satan's greeting. Holy shit. Come on, lady. Are you kidding me? Hold on, Michael. I wanted to respond to Michael here. I see that. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it depends on the tribe. Okay, that makes sense. Native American tribes have various beliefs. My understanding is that is more a NAC belief, but that's more recent. Okay. Fair enough. What is NAC? Yeah, I don't know. What does the NAC stand for here? I'm confused. Is that a particular tribe that we're talking about? What the fuck? Are you kidding me, man? What are you doing here? Okay, this is weird. U.S. war is coming. American Christians will fight Muslims and Jews alike. That's a weird thing to say, man. We're not really talking about that, but okay. You're like, our religion's going to fight other religions. We're going to do it. We're going to fight them. Hey, Ryan, what's up? I'm sorry. I meant Satan, what's up? What are you doing here? I didn't know you frequented my streams. But of course Satan does because he's cool and probably listens to punk. I would think anyway. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Oh, duh. Native American Church. It's a more recent development of a pan-indigenous religion. Oh, okay. Interesting. I had never heard of that before, but that makes sense. I should have put that together, the NA at least. But yeah, that's fascinating. Hell yeah.
No coincidence that the main character is being voiced by Haley Steinfeld, who is also a main character in the movie Sinners, which again is all things witchcraft.
So we just
I mean, there's vampires in it. So, not all things witchcraft. I mean, there is some witchcraft in there, but there's also fucking vampires, dude.
found out there was real witchcraft being done on the set of the movie Sinners.
Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with these people? How the fuck? It's so weird when they say the witchcraft in there is real. That's what they used to say about Harry fucking Potter, dude. Not even kidding. They would say, they're like, we can't let our kiddos watch the Harry Potter movies. Well, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the spell, they're doing real spells. Okay, they're doing, and I don't want them to accidentally, ricochet off of something. The spell, I mean, and slap somebody right in the face with an accidental spell that happened to be real and recited by Harry in the movie. I just no, you cannot watch those movies. You'll get a spell ricocheted right at your face. You might not even realize it.
Hoodoo is a real practice, and we had a hoodoo consultant, and I spoke to hoodoo priestesses. The world has media has kind of shown us like a really dark side of voodoo, and I didn't know it was such a healing, loving, spiritual, connected practice.
But
okay, so they brought somebody in that knows about this stuff, knows about what it is. That's what a consultant is. Somebody explaining what the actual legends are of this particular belief system, this particular practice, whatever it might be. Hoodoo is what you're talking about there, which I guess is different than voodoo. I'm not really sure. I always thought that hoodoo was just voodoo, but with an accent. I don't know, but slightly a slightly different accent. But apparently not. That's not. It's its own. I think it's the good version of the voodoo. The voodoo, that's bad. Hoodoo, that's what the good people do. Similar, it's like the Force. So you got the light side, the dark side. But
hex, Disney's occult obsession and occult propaganda is no longer hidden. It's no longer woven into the storyline subliminally and artistically. It is the storyline. It is the character. This movie.
Well, I mean, it's just lazy writing, and cash grabs and stuff. But I don't think it has anything to do with people like trying to program your children to want to do witchcraft. Just don't teach your kids that it's real, and then you won't run that, because you're going to run that risk no matter what. If you're teaching your children that witchcraft is real, whether they see a fucking movie or not, just you telling them, hey, you can do magical power stuff by saying certain words and having rocks, you rub the rock while saying the words, magic happens. And they go, holy shit, well, I'm going to do that then. What? That's incredible. That sounds like a lot of fun. Does it sparkle? Does it do some Doctor Strange sparkles, or no? Is it sparkleless? Oh, you don't know. Okay, well, we're gonna have to try it. We're gonna have to try it now, because Mom said the thing about the demon magic is real. So we got to check it out. I want to see. I need to know if it's gonna sparkle or not. Okay, she piqued my curiosity here.
Just like about every other Disney movie, is being used to glorify and promote the occult and introduce it at a whole nother level to.
That's what they're doing. They're promoting the occult, the whole thing. They're just doing it. They're just promoting the whole thing out there.
To the next generation. This isn't just a movie with Disney. It's rarely ever just a movie. Wake up and see that this is darkness. This is dark.
Wake up and see that this is evil Disney magic that's from Satan.
Turn to the light. Do you want to know who the light is? The only light.
Luke Skywalker. We already know. Okay, maybe Yoda, if you want to, take the extra step.
In this dark world is Jesus, and you discover that when you turn to him. Witchcraft is of the devil, and the Bible warns.
What's that? Wait, was she John Wicking her magic stash in the floor? What the fuck was that?
Light is the only light in this dark world is Jesus, and you discover that when you turn to him. Witchcraft is of.
She's John Wicken, right? That's what that is.
Turn to the light. Do you want to know who the light is? The only light in this dark world is Jesus, and you discover that when you turn to him. Witchcraft is of the devil, and the Bible warns that it will ultimately lead to destruction and everlasting separation from God. You have been warned with this video. What will you do now with this information? Go get a Bible.
You have been warned. Whoa, lady. Okay. Let's bring it down a notch. All right. You have been warned. What the fuck? Stop letting AI write your scripts. Okay, dude? Jesus Christ. You have been warned. That is such an AI thing that, you can just hear it sometimes. You can hear the AI, writing stuff, right? Dude, what the hell is this? Look at this shit. I was looking through some of my stuff, and look at this. Okay, it's called "They Put Satan in Every Marvel Movie and Nobody Noticed." It has 1.6 million views. With an M. Million. The fuck? How did I miss this? What is this? It's end times video.
Political party or different lifestyle choice or different.
The fuck is
try to make it easy on the editors at Sky doing it.
All right. So, what is spiritual warfare?
Spiritual warfare is really the engagement with the spirit realm. These principalities and powers that the Apostle Paul wrote about. I mean, he made it very clear in Ephesians chapter 6. That's the letter that he wrote to the church.
He's like an author and this whatever, and a TV host. Of what? Author and TV host? Of what? Like, I've never seen this person ever.
Church at Ephesus, which is in Turkey, where he said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. His point is, we're not wrestling against or contending with human opponents, even though we may see people of a different political party or a different lifestyle choice or a different skin color as the enemy. That's really not true. The true enemy of mankind of all.
John Wicken. That's amazing. How did I miss Oh, okay, no more dad jokes. I will not. I'm not.
Man.
I'll be laughing too much to be able to finish the show.
Whether we realize it or not, it's not, us humans one against another. It's really these principalities, powers, thrones, dominions, cosmic rulers of this present darkness. Paul was talking about spiritual entities.
Frank Peretti. I know that one. I know that one. Did you ever read, let's see, that was This Present Darkness. What's the Darkness Falls? No, wait, no, that's a Tooth Fairy. That's a Tooth Fairy movie. Very good as well. Very good as well. But they have to take her porcelain mask off and then take her to the lighthouse and she explodes. Anyway, sorry, I ruined it. I ruined the movie. Shouldn't have done that. That was
who have rebelled against the creator of the universe and who basically want to destroy humanity. And they're doing it by getting us to fight with each other. So Paul was trying to tell us, hey, look, spiritual warfare, guys, that's what this is about. It's against these principalities and powers. And it begins.
They're trying to get us to like just disagree and stuff. They're trying to do that thing that Gandalf did with the trolls in the Hobbit book, not the Lord of the Rings series, the Hobbit when he made them argue until they all turned to stone. That's what demons are trying to do, trying to get us to argue until we all turn to stone, by which I mean when Jesus comes back. Hello.
For Christians, on our knees. It's hard because as humans, especially...
Sorry, Anarchic, I know. And I know Anarchic Fox specifically was really looking forward to watching the movie Darkness Falls about the Tooth Fairy taking people away into the sky when they're, when there's shadows around. But sorry, didn't mean to wreck it for you.
As men, we see a problem, we want to fix it, but we're operating in the natural realm. We got our natural senses. We
naturally
see a problem, we want to, and oftentimes that means fixing the person we disagree with.
Well, fix you.
But that's not it. The enemy already wins if we already approach that other person with hatred. If we as Christians want to fulfill the one job Jesus gave us, which is to make disciples of all nations, we have to quit making ourselves a stumbling block.
And the job of cutting off the tip of your penis. But that's neither here nor there. That's really a job for your parents, probably, hopefully a doctor, maybe.
Between the people who don't know Jesus and him.
All right.
I love how they have like the natural like church responses just like built into his brain so much so that like he's interviewing this guy and he's still doing like church responses. Amen, praise the Lord. That's true. Amen. Praise the Lord. Now can we answer they have just like they're just like little autonomic responses, really.
Well, I kind of answered the second question too, but maybe we can go a little deeper.
What? I can't hear you. How does this have 1 million views? I can't even hear you, man.
What specifically?
Can you get a microphone? Get a microphone and maybe talk into to see how this sounds. That's how you sound.
The principalities and powers that Paul speaks about, are they? You said they're spirit beings. Now, are they? If you can just expand on that a little.
Was that a demon right then? I heard a screech of some sort. Was that a demon screech?
Maybe.
The principalities and powers that Paul wrote about fall into a couple of different categories. I guess the easiest way to describe them would be fallen angels and demons. The difference between fallen angels and demons is a simple one. Fallen angels can manifest corporeally. We read in the Bible a number of times where angels interact with.
I knew it. Those corporations were all demonic. I knew it. I just didn't have a word for it, corporeal, but now I do. I knew it. Fucking corporations, goddamn corporate greed is really a problem here, and fucking demons.
Humans and do physical things. They eat a meal with Abraham. They eat a meal with Gideon. They fight with the citizens of Sodom and things like that. Angels can appear in physical form. They can actually do physical things too, because we read in Genesis chapter 6 about the angels who saw that the human women were fair and chose wives, or perhaps just took wives. Demons, on the other hand, are totally spirit. They need to inhabit a physical body in order to interact with us in the physical plane. or
wait, fucking which one's which? Where is he? I love it when they just like make stuff up like this. You know, this is absolutely just not in the Bible. Like this he's just coming up with shit here. The difference between fallen angels and demons is that, and I didn't even hear which one. One is corporeal. Well, I guess fallen angel then. Like fallen angels can be made up of stuffs, yet they're nowhere anytime ever. But demons, now those they have to be inside of stuff, like the legendary legion of pigs. Yeah. Did I say that right? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
they can oppress us, which can be a feeling of depression or dread.
Wow. They can't do much, is what you're saying. The demons get inside your brain, and then they can make you feel a little sad. It's not great. Kind of feel like there's a cloud, like a cloudy day, and you kind of have that just sort of depressing feeling. That's a demon right there.
Anxiety, stress. In the worst form, most intense form.
Anxiety and stress. So everybody just has demons all the time, right? Is that what it is? Just demons are all over the fucking place right there.
Demonic possession is when they actually overwhelm and take over a human. It's probably not as spectacular as what we see in the films, but
we have Valium now, so you can take out some of that anxiety, right? So when they do take over the full brain, you can just take a Valium, and they're like, "Oh fuck, I can't do anything." They're not panicking.
There are cases where it does. Having talked to deliverance ministers or exorcists, it sometimes gets that.
I like a deliverance minister is like you could probably trick somebody. They're like, "Oh yeah, they're a deliverance minister." A deliverance minister, you say? Well, that is terrific. People would absolutely describe that as terrific. Usually when people don't know what something is, they say it's terrific. But then you go, yeah, and that or other, another name for it is exorcist. Oh God, come on. Okay. Quit messing with me. What do they actually do for a living? Come on. I know. I've seen the movie. Halloween's coming up. I get it. Seriously, what do they do for a living? No, they're a deliverance. Shut up. Okay, come on. Exorcist. It's like that. That's what exorcists tell people when they don't want to be made fun of at Thanksgiving.
Spectacular, that gruesome, that dangerous, that frightening. But those would be the powers, principalities, thrones, dominions. The way Paul writes about them, there's got to be some kind of a hierarchy there, because those are terms that could also be applied to human figures of authority. But in the context that he wrote, it's pretty clear he's talking about inhuman entities, spiritual forces.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's totally. Yeah, I get it, man. Totes my goats. Okay. Next question. Jesus Christ.
Cosmic forces. We normally don't perceive them as humans, and it's probably best that we don't. In fact, God made it pretty clear to Moses that he didn't want humans trying to contact the spirit realm.
Don't even perceive them. If you do, you better not. You better not. Okay.
Do not consult mediums. Do not talk to necromancers, because we as humans are not prepared for the interaction. We see a being that is indescribably beautiful, a being of light, and we assume he's one of the good guys. But as Paul warned his readers, even Satan appears as an angel of light.
Everybody drink. That's our drinking. That's our drinking phrase. Everybody knows. Anytime they say even Satan comes as an angel of light, everybody has to drink.
The demonic realm, the spirit realm, they really don't have anything to gain by literally scaring the hell out of us. They would rather lull us into a false sense of security.
Amen, brother.
They really don't have anything to gain by scaring the hell out of you. Like, yeah, okay. So what? But they do have something to gain by what? Just tricking you into what? Because like, if you're going to interact with some kind of demonic creature in some way, like, wouldn't you be scared no matter what? Like, I don't, and I don't see a whole lot of, or I don't hear about, I should say, a whole lot of instances of people being like, oh, this beautiful thing just popped out of a giant light that showed up in my room one day. Started telling me to consult mediums. Yeah, I know. That's when I became a new ager. Yep. You know, all those people in the meditation apps were talking about it all the time. So I finally just took the plunge. And now I'm a Satanist.
So are the 70 sons of God from the Deuteronomy 32 worldview the same gods worshipped worldwide from India to Peru?
Yes. And the interesting thing about that number 70 is that it doesn't necessarily refer to a specific...
We didn't want to talk to you anyway, okay? We don't talk to stupids.
Actual number. Now, the Bible makes it clear that we were talking about the same ones, the gods of the nations, because in Genesis chapter 10, where we read about the sons, the descendants of Noah, the so-called Table of Nations, there are 70 listed there. But in the ancient Near East, not just with the Hebrew culture, but all across the ancient Near East, the Akkadians, the Amorites, everybody in the ancient Near East understood that 70 represented the complete set. In other words, not one left out. So...
And the number 70 represented the complete set.
In fact, we see that number elsewhere in the Old Testament, like the 70 sons of Gideon who were slaughtered by, Abimelech. You know, even though Gideon, by the way...
Hell, Abimelech, I remember that one. Yep, that motherfucker.
Said, I don't want to be the king. I'll just make an ephod for myself and, stuff. But his son Abimelech, or, illegitimate son, his name means my father's the king. So yeah, interesting. And he's the one.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check your knowledge on this sort of thing. A scholar or two. I don't know.
Did Gideon really have 70 sons? It seems unlikely, but it means that all.
I mean, are they Mormon? They're Mormon. They might. Oh, they didn't have Mormons yet. Okay, well, that's then probably not. Then right? Okay. Well, then probably not. They probably didn't have 70 kids. Now, if there were Mormons back then, I'd probably say maybe, right? Yeah, it could be possible at least.
All of them were killed except for the one survivor. So the number 70 means all of them. The Canaanites believed that their chief god, the creator god El, who his mount of assembly was Mount Hermon.
I don't know why. I just picture a giant capital L that has like a little face from Sesame Street back in the day. Remember when they would have the letters talk and stuff? Gave them little personalities. I'm L. I'm the big god. Okay. It's just a giant capital L. And then they didn't want to do a lowercase L, mainly because everybody keeps mixing them up with I, but that's a whole other thing.
Which is the northern border of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria today, where the Watchers descended and made their pact to take human wives. He held court there with his 70 sons, the 70 sons of El. You go back a little further in history into about the time of Abraham, and there was a city in northern Syria by the name of Ebla.
Wait, was there a fucking... Hold on. Was there a pact or something? What did he say?
You go back a little further in history. No. Made their pact to take human wives. He held court there with his 70 sons, the 70 sons of El. You go back a little further.
Where the fuck is that from? What is he talking about? There was a pact for the Nephilim. Is that the part that he's talking about? Like the Nephilim to take the human wives, and they had some kind of pact now? Are you serious?
In history into about the time of Abraham, and there was the clay tablets and found the records and all that, and there was an annual festival held in the spring where the people of Emar would sacrifice 70 lambs.
Holy shit. This video is called "They Put Satan in Every Marvel every Marvel movie and Nobody Noticed." Are we, you know what I've noticed? We're not even fucking talking about Marvel at all right now. Okay. So what the hell is that? Was that some kind of trick? Are you playing some kind of grimy trick to get me to click and watch this video until you eventually just say one thing about Marvel movies and then that's it at the very last second? And I watched the whole fucking video waiting for it.
This was usually done around the first day of the first month, the first of Nissan. About.
I have a Nissan. Yeah, that's right. They're pretty good. I put them up there with Toyotas. They last a long time. Plus, they got those plug and play parts, right? You don't want to have to deal with those German parts when you get like a Cadillac or something like that. Or not German, I'm sorry, Volkswagen or something like that. Then you got to get these special parts. Nobody's got them. You got to order them. It's a fucking mess. Go with the Nissan, like this guy is saying to do.
2 weeks before the Hebrews would later celebrate Passover, they would sacrifice 70 lambs for Dagon, who was their chief god, who was just held by a different name, Dagon, and the 70 gods of the city. Again, representing all the other gods of the divine council, all the other gods other than the chief god, the king of the pantheon, Dagon. So you got the Canaanites believing there, the ancient Amorites of Emar with their 70 gods. The interesting thing about the 70 is that...
Are we doing this all for the number? That was it? That's what drove this topic of discussion here, was the number. That's what got us here. Okay.
When God gave the feasts to Moses, let me back up. I'll save that for just a second.
Don't back up. Oh my God, you're backed up enough, sir.
When God gave the law to Moses on Mount Sinai, but before he gave him the plans for the tabernacle, he did something interesting. He called Moses and said, okay, you and your brother Aaron, who was the high priest, Aaron's 2 sons, and the 70 elders of Israel come up Mount Sinai. And so no one else was allowed near the mountain. Okay, so you touch the mountain and, God would smite you.
You die. That's right. You just, the whole mountain. You're just a lot of dead squirrels surrounding that sucker. I'll tell you what. They're all just like, what the fuck, man? Why, my whole family just dead right there because something's up with that mountain. I don't know what's up with it, but there's acorns in that tree that growing right off the side of the mountain, killing all my kin.
But Aaron, Moses, the 70 elders of Israel climbed the mountain, and this is in Exodus 24. They beheld the God of Israel. And he did not touch them. He did not harm them.
They beheld him, even though that's a contradiction to a different verse that says that no man has ever seen the Father.
They beheld the God of Israel and ate and drank. They had a meal up there on Mount Sinai. The 70
elders. They had a fucking meal up there. You talk about mind blowing, dude. They put food in their bodies on that mountain. I'm just kidding. Incredible. It's just, boy, the Bible is some good stuff, isn't it? My goodness.
Elders of Israel. Now, why did God do that? Because, now wait a minute. How is it possible? We're told that man cannot see the face of God and live.
That's right. Yeah, we did say that. And we saw a place that said that nobody has ever seen the Father, yet they saw him.
Well, this is where one of the examples in the Old Testament where we see the second power in heaven. We begin to get a picture of the Trinity in the Old Testament. Yes, God the Father in all his glory, when he passed by Moses, who was in the cleft of the rock, could not see his face because
just his crack. Or like ostensibly the crack of his ass, right? Just did a full-on plumber thing, just passing by with his pants down, no underwear. Gods don't wear underwears, but sagging is actually pretty cool up there. So that's where that came from.
It's overwhelming. But God in the flesh, we see the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament in a number of places. That is God in a form that humans can perceive. And he called...
It's amazing. Wow, that's just fascinating. A form that we can perceive. Oh, wow, that is incredible. How did he know to do that? That's crazy.
These men up his holy mountain and had a meal. It was a
Why don't you go up your, you know what, buddy? Look here, bucko. Why don't you go up your holy mountain? I don't know why. It just felt like an insult.
symbol of what was going to happen. Well, it's a symbol of what's going to happen when we are finally restored to the divine council, when God finally brings us back into the divine council, which we got kicked out of when Adam and Eve disobeyed. But this was a message to the
Oh, we were in the council prior to that? No humans exist. The first two humans fucked it up. So we're about to let humans on the council, but turns out the first two fucked it up for everybody. Sorry, humans, back off of the council. There would have been no humans on the council then. If the first one, never mind. You know what?
70, meaning all the gods of the nations. This is what is in store for humanity. You're toast and you're being replaced. It's like the prodigal son, the parable of the prodigal son. We will someday be welcomed back, covered with pig dung and smelling off.
You say shit. It's okay.
And looking horrible. And God will welcome us with open arms. And that is be the restoration of humanity to the divine council. His message to the 70 gods, again, representing all the gods of the nations. Now, here's the thing. The Feast of Tabernacles.
What the fuck is happening? I'm so goddamn confused. First of all, where the fuck is the Marvel movies? We haven't said anything about a single goddamn Marvel movie. All we got is this guy talking about literally made up shit. This is somebody just making stuff up. But as long as you wear like I guess a vest that looks like you've got a corduroy blazer at home, just like a professor, well then, boy, everybody has to listen to you, right? What the fuck, man? He's literally just making all this shit up. As far as I can tell, there's only been like one or two actually accurate things that he said. He is like talking about particular parts of the Bible that obviously exist, but his like inferences based on them completely out his ass.
Fall. I wanted to talk about this in my time today, and without getting another hour, I couldn't get into it. The Spring Festival, this ancient city of Emar, pagan city, sacrificing 70 lambs in the spring, okay, around the time of the Passover, which is when Jesus was sacrificed, who John the Baptist called, "Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world," okay? Jesus was the perfect lamb to sacrifice. The fall feast, which was the feast, as Rabbi Zev Parat talked about earlier today, the Feast of Tabernacles. When God gave that feast to Moses, he said, okay, here's the plan. It's a 7-day feast, a 7-day festival. On day 1, you sacrifice 13 bulls. Day 2, you sacrifice 12. Day 3, 11, etc. 7 days.
A lot of killing animals involved in this particular feast. kind of ruins, I would say, the feast aspect of it when you're trying to eat right after watching your family murder animals. And it sounds like quite a few of them too. Like, really, another one? What number bull are we on? Where's 9? How many more are there to go? What are you saying? It's really hard to eat now. The smell is actually quite brutal. We need to get some of that white stuff that I see they have in like NCIS when they're looking at the bot, they put it under the nib. I need some of that. Maybe I can get down some of the first course, but that's no promises.
Counting down by 1 each day, 70 bulls sacrificed. The bulls.
70 bulls. How many bulls are we on? Oh my God. Like, oh my God, how many of these do we got to do? What number are we on? 30 something? So we're halfway. Okay, at 35. Where do we get all these bulls from? First of all, that's the first question. Second of all, you got them all just to sacrifice. You can't eat any of those 70 bulls. That's not the off limits because you got to give it up to the magic. that really likes it when you kill animals for some reason.
In the ancient world, the bull imagery is connected to these pagan gods over and over again. El, chief god of the Canaanites, called Bull El. Kronos, chief god of the old gods.
Bullshit.
To the Greeks, the Titans. His name comes from a Semitic word meaning horned one.
So he's horny. Okay. And if you're horny, just go to hold on, I got it here. Oh no, I don't. It's just go to astralpride.com.
In 2024, NASA researcher Rachel Lenz gave the world a flag made from NASA images for Pride Month. On January 20th, 2025, the incoming U.S. administration ordered that Artistic Union of Science and Civil Rights deleted. So I tracked down the original images it was made from, recreated it, and then added even more wonders of the cosmos to update the flag to the current, more inclusive form. On the anniversary of the inauguration, I released it. And it went viral several times. Now you can get a physical copy of that artwork as a full-sized flag or a large sticker, as well as space artworks of the other pride flags: lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, ace, and new flags being added all the time. Get one for yourself or give them as gifts and celebrate pride, celebrate science, celebrate resistance, and help support a creator fighting for human rights for all humans. Head to astralpride.com. and use code PUNK at checkout for an exclusive offer.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was obviously saying horny for a flag. It didn't come through that I was saying you got to be horny if you're horny for flags. Yeah, that's I'm sure people are horny for flags. Oh, we're back. Shit. Sorry. Back to the Professor Pittstain.
And yet God, giving the feast to Moses, said, okay, here's what the Feast of Tabernacles represents God delivering his people from all the other gods of the world, all the other gods of the nations. 70 bulls, the complete set, not one left out.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's what it represents? It represents God saving humanity from all the other gods. That's what the whole Holy of Holies thing, and there's the drape that got ripped top to bottom as soon as the blood magic sacrifice happened. He was saving us from other gods. Okay, got it.
They are sacrificed. God has delivered his people from the pagan gods, all the gods that God allotted to the nations of the world. And as Zeb pointed out,
God's like, do you really want Zeus to be your guy? No. He comes down here and fucks women and stuff, making demigods all over the place. You don't want a world like that. I gotta save you. I gotta save you from the Zeus world. Okay, you do not want that to happen. Okay, then you're gonna have these dragons whose heads just split into multiples every single time they get cut off. And it's a whole thing.
When Jesus came the first time, he was sacrificed as the lamb at Passover in the spring. When he comes back, it's Tabernacles time, where God delivers his people from the gods of the nations. It's beautiful.
That's amazing. Beautiful. It's amazing. Oh my God. The tabernacle time. That's so cool. That's amazing. That's great.
Mind blowing. How everything's so perfect and just kind of fits together like that is just,
I know.
Cold chills. All right.
This fits right together. Fits together like a square peg in this circle hole. Just as long as you kick it with Van Damme level strength, it'll go in there.
So it's almost like you read this when I wasn't looking, because you're just going through my questions. Let me switch batteries before we die here.
Sure.
Yeah. How does this have 1 million views? What is going on here? How did they do this?
A lot of what we think we know about Tammuz and Semiramis comes from Alexander Hislop and his book, The Two Babylons, which was written in the 1860s, if I remember correctly. And he meant well, but he had an axe to grind against the Roman Catholic Church. And there's a lot of research that's been done since the 1860s, a lot of texts that have been found.
What is what better?
That he did not know about, could not know about, because they were still underneath the sand in Iraq and Syria, like the text from Ugarit, not found until 1928. Some of those not translated until the 1970s, 1980s. So a lot of what we know about that period of history, he was drawing from Herodotus, the Greek historian, whose audience was very open to stuff that made the Orientals, Persians, what was left of the Akkadians and so forth, Babylonians, look bad.
Orient, we don't use that word anymore. That's not the word people use, and I'd never heard it used for Persian people, but I don't know.
Because Herodotus was writing at about the time the Persians were, marching to try to destroy Greece. So you got to take what Herodotus wrote with a grain of salt. Semiramis was probably an Assyrian queen whose name was Shamu Ramat.
Her name was Shamu. That's rude. Okay, come on, parents, don't do that. That's really mean.
He ruled as regent for a little while in the late 9th century BC, which would be about 811, 810 BC to about 800 BC.
Speaking of Shamu, it was funny. Nikki and I were just talking about this. She was like, boy, how old is Shamu? Like, it's crazy they still have it. And then we looked it up, and it turns out that killer whales do not live as long as I thought they must have lived. But that there are different. They're different ones. Okay, they just rename them Shamu. So that's just. I know. I thought maybe they lived a long time or something. They're prehistoric, right? They're kind of like sharks. I know sharks live a long time, right? Thought that maybe no, they're different. They're different Shamus. They're not the same one.
Now, Hislop taught that she was the wife of Nimrod. Nimrod was the king of Uruk. Now, Assyria is northern Iraq, around Mosul and Kirkuk, where the Kurds live.
That was brilliant. Hold on, let me get this from Bree here. It's like, let him cook. Let him cook, all right? Let him finish world building. He has to build a demon-haunted world before he can marvel you. That's very good. I love it. If I touch a rock from the mountain, do I die? From that mountain, yes, you do. You do die on that mountain. Yep. Zippity doo die. That's right. You do. That's right. I don't know why I said that. That's we'll get it, because it's like that song, Zippity doo dah. Yeah. That's you never heard that one? Oh, well, it's a human thing, I think. Anyway, don't worry about it. That's why we're not allowed to help take the ring, the ring to Mordor. That's right. Because of that fucking mountain just takes people out. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch a mountain that'll kill you. Oh, maybe that's that. Oh man, now I can't think of it. What's that really tall? It's like the highest point on a mountain like ever, and it's got like a really boring name. It's not like Mount Everest, although Mount Everest I think takes a lot of people out too, but not for the same God magic reasons. Other ones. And apparently because it's so cold, the bodies are just there. The bodies just stay there, dude. That's sick, man. That means you have to be like when you're like, oh, I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to go I'm going to climb Everest, right? You got to climb past bodies. Then they're like, oh, that guy's been there for 70 years. Like you're going to be like passing guys, and fucking froze and bell bottoms, right? And different, just all hippied out, probably bandanas, bright colored glasses. Like, oh my God. And they still haven't deteriorated because of how cold it is. Talk about a mind fuck, that's what makes it so people never make it up that sucker. I think it's just psychologically, that really does fuck you up. But what the fuck were we talking about? We're talking about mountains. It's like, yeah, it's like called like L7 or something. Now I know that's the wiener, but no, there's like an L7. It's like a mountain. Fuck, what is it called?
Uruk was down in southeastern Iraq. That's where the Sumerians lived. The Bible calls it Erech, E-R-E-C-H. Uruk, U-R-U-K is what it's how scholars transliterate the name. But today we still call it Iraq. Same name.
Okay, I was close. Different letter, different number, but I was close. There were letters and numbers. Like L7, K2, whatever, So I was fucking close. Just a couple letters off, just a couple numbers off. Just happened to be both. That's all. So thank you. Appreciate that. John's got it. You ever climbed K2, John? Is that how you knew that? You climb it? Do they have frozen dead bodies that are there from the 70s too? Because that would be cool. Not cool, but it's fascinating. We'll use cool in that regard. Yeah.
5,000 years after Nimrod lived, it's the same name. But there's a period of history that scholars call the Uruk expansion, when that city in southeastern Iraq dominated the entire Fertile Crescent as far north as southern Turkey. They controlled raw materials, trading posts. Basically, they dominated for almost 1,000 years, all of the Fertile Crescent from the Persian Gulf to the mountains of southern Turkey. Well,
can we get to the
Nimrod would have lived somewhere in that period when Uruk essentially dominated the known world. But about 3100 BC, 3000 BC, suddenly it all fell apart. It all fell apart, and scholars say, and I'm trying to piece this together now. I'm doing some study on this.
I was going to say, because I don't think that we have I don't think we have anything else from the supposed time period that Nimrod lived. Like, that's really, when was that supposedly? Like, it's really, that's in, so he's going all the way back to the story that we have that supposedly explains where language came from. The story of Nimrod, and the fact that he wanted people to work together to build a great tower. God couldn't have people working together. Got to divide them all up. That's where we get languages from.
And I'm not well schooled on this, so take this, as.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it. You sound like me right now. I'm not well knowing this stuff. I'm not knowledged. Can you pluralize knowledge like that? I don't have the thinkiness.
Tentative. But something happened around that period of history that caused a real disruption in society. Scholars know this and say, yeah, okay, for some reason, these settled cities and something, there was some disruption there and everything just kind of went to pieces for a while. Well, okay, that kind of sounds like what happened after the Tower of Babel incident.
Oh, the incident. We just actually called that the incident now. Okay. We try not to name it like that, Amber said K2 has a slope called the death zone. That's cool. I like that. That's great. I want to go there just because it's called that. Yeah, just heading to the death zone. Yeah, I know. We're gonna go see Slayer afterwards. Anyway, and there are dozens of bodies stuck up there, dude. Even cooler, My goodness, that's terrifying. Holy shit. The death zone. Right into the death zone. Ding, ding. Yeah, that's awesome.
Where God confused the languages and suddenly there was a real reshuffling of the societies.
What did I just say about just talking about that? The incident. Said don't.
Again, Is there any smoking gun? No, there's not. But Nimrod,
they didn't have those yet.
Second generation king of Uruk after the flood, was in southeastern Iraq. Shamu Ramat, queen of Assyria, which is in northern Iraq.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm gonna go there and then just look around and then head back. It'll be all right. It'll be fine.
Distance away, and about 2,000 years after Nimrod died. So Nimrod and Semiramis, wrong millennium, wrong nations. Tammuz was Dumuzi in the ancient Sumerian, and he was in the same. He was another king.
he was Tamuzian, which sounds like you're. It sounds like it's some kind of side effect from just too much acid. Oh, he's Tamuzian again. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Could you get him to do like a yoga nidra, getting him to focus on his hands and feet briefly, and then he'll come back to not Tamuzian. Because once you start Tamuzian, you can get lost. Okay.
King of Uruk, in and around the time of Gilgamesh. I forget the order on the Sumerian king list. But according to the legend, he was married to the goddess Inanna, Ishtar. And
wait, which is it? Inanna or Ishtar? It can't be both. You don't get to be both Inanna and Ishtar. Those names are just.
He was a king of a city called Bad Tibera.
Is it Inanna Ishtar? Inanna Ishtar.
And the way the story goes, demons wanted to drag Inanna's son, who was the patron god of this city, Bad Tibera, to the netherworld. And Inanna said, don't take him, take my husband instead. And so Dumuzi got dragged down to hell. And
he cheats on me anyway. Fuck that guy. Could you just take my husband instead? That guy sucks. Okay. He's definitely a cheater. It's not what he says. It's the way he says it. It's just, no. Take him to hell, please.
The first of the ancient Near Eastern dying and rising gods. Down in the netherworld for 6 months, then back in, corresponding with the cycle of vegetation. When everything turns brown, oh, Dumuzi's dead. This went on for a long time, obviously, because Ezekiel saw it. The people weeping for Dumuzi.
Don't that like what he said. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Everything turns brown. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I already knew about this. Yep.
In the temple.
Go fuck yourself. No, you didn't.
And this would have been in the 6th century BC, around 590, 580 BC, after, because Ezekiel had gone off with the first wave of refugees to Babylon. So, they're weeping for the god because the vegetation is dead. And
where does he get his information from? This is odd. It sounds like he's like looking at the newspapers from Bible days or something. It's just strange.
So he's down in the netherworld, and so they're mourning the loss of the god as part of a ritual. And then in the spring, when things begin to green up again, then everybody celebrates, and perhaps fertility rites. I'm not studied this a lot.
This took place at the Temple Mount.
Yeah, but there were other dying and rising gods around the ancient Near East. For example, Adonis to the Greeks.
I like Adonis. I like that song, "Take It Off." Gotta take it off, take it off, baby, for me.
Cart.
For you, take it off for something. I can't remember why they're taking it off, but they're doing it though.
Who was a god of the city of Tyre around the time of Ahab and Jezebel, which makes the incident on Mount Carmel a lot more interesting, because Melkart, as one of the dying and rising gods, would be in the netherworld for half the year and above the ground for half the year. We know from a text found at the city of Tyre that there was a ritual performed similar to the
city of Tyre, ironically, where the wheel was invented. No shit.
Drink offering, where you pour out water for the god. This is based on an older ritual amongst the Amorite peoples and the Mesopotamians, going back at least to 3000 BC.
What, Deviant, you're not following? He's talking about Tyre, filling the tires with the caramel. It's caramel or caramel? How do you say it? Okay, well, I say caramel. With the caramel and the amuse bouche that is that I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, at least 2000 BC, based on what I've read, where you have to pour out a drink offering and offer food to your dead ancestors, which you summon through a necromancy ritual. They had to do it every month on the 30th day of the month when the night of no moon.
That's a very awkward moment there, you know, when you have these decaying skeletons. So like, actually, could I get a bite? No, it's save me some mashed potatoes. Okay. No, I'm not bottling that right there. Brown gravy too. Don't leave me gravyless. Okay. I know, like, Grandpa, you're freaking me out. Can you come get some skin, particularly on your face, and come back? And can you wear pants this time? Come on, man. This is, you know, even though there's nothing there, just skeletons, it still freaks me out. Okay. What the fuck? What are you, Yogi Bear? Go put pants on. Jesus.
Kind of a side point here. There's a ritual today where people will pour their drink out for their dead friends. Is that a continuation, you think?
It may well be. It may well be. In fact, in the ancient world, Mesopotamia was considered so important that the pourer of water was an epithet or a name, a way of describing your heir. You know, your heir, your oldest son, would take over the responsibility for performing this monthly ritual, which is called the kispum, Kispum. You would have to lay out.
I don't think this is related. You know, I'm just gonna go out on a branch here, or a limb, or a limb or a branch. You know, either way, it's fine. I'll go out on the thing. Either one of those.
It's not like kids laying out, cookies and milk for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. This was a ritual where you had three parts, where you had
well, you'd have to pour out. And here's for Santa Claus. Is dumping it on. Santa shows up. Oh man, when you poured it. Well, how the fuck am I gonna drink? God, these little asshole kids. You're getting cold, dipshit.
Communal meal with the family would get together and eat. Then you would have the calling of the name, where you call out the names of the ancestors, and you have the food sitting out for them, and then the pouring of water. And so the heir who took over this responsibility would be the pourer of water. If a couple was childless, they would adopt an heir as the pourer of water.
Oh, the water pourer heir. They're like, oh, no, but we got to get a kid that can pour water. That's that poor kid. That was not what his dream was. He wanted to grow up and be a fireman. Turns out, just pours water on nothing. No fires, just ground.
In some cases, they would make inheriting the estate of the soon-to-be deceased contingent upon him performing the ritual. Because
I'm sorry, you're right. It's demonic water pouring. Oh, God.
In ancient Mesopotamia, it was believed that if...
I wonder if, like, the guy that was asking this question about the, pouring out and drinking, and one for my homies, that's like what he's talking about. Is this so we can run back and be like, you're doing it for demons? Don't pour out for your homies. It's demonic. Demons will come. Don't do it. Do you want skeleton people to rise out of the ground from which you poured the water that you're trying to get to your dead friends? Huh? You want zombies? Because this is how you get zombies. Don't do it.
Your descendants didn't perform the ritual correctly and set out the food and the drink, you were condemned to eat dust and clay for all eternity.
Okay. That's not good. You don't want to eat dust or clay. I used to eat quite a bit of clay, actually, when I was a kid, and I don't know what it was. Something about that is the gray kind. You know what I'm talking about? That you buy in those bricks. They come in bricks at the art store. It's really heavy. It's like the heaviest thing I think they sell at the art store. Anyway, I used to just eat the fuck out of that stuff. My mom would show up and I would hope that she wouldn't notice, but you can kind of see where a bite mark is taken out of clay when there's a big just bite mark missing. It's like, Bradley, I told you to stop. This has got to be bad. Call poison control again and ask them if it's poison. I forget. I can't remember what they said last time. I think no, because he's still alive. but let's just double check just to make sure.
Kind of like what God condemned Satan to when he kicked him out of Eden. You'll crawl on your belly eating dust and clay forever. Yeah. This is why Abraham was so freaked out. He was getting to an old age and he didn't have an heir. And here's an interesting thing. He said, Eleazar of Damascus.
This is never pooped. That's it. It just blocked it all up. Actually, ironically, I pooped out what was in the shape of a stomach. I know, it was weird. It was weird. It was literally the shape. It hardened, it hardened in there. And then I pooped out an actual stomach, but just a clay one. Yep. Won the art fair award for that one. They actually thought that I did enter a stomach as a clay.
Is going to be my heir, except that the word translated as Damascus, hot Damasek, was probably wrong, according to a scholar I've read about this ritual. He said,
"Did you just say hot dominatrix sex?" Because that's what I heard. I don't. Did y'all hear? Hold on. Let's go back.
Except that the word translated as Damascus, hot Damasek.
He did say hot dominatrix sex. I knew it. I have a sharp ear when it comes to pretty much just that phrase, but others that are similar too, probably.
Was probably wrong, according to a scholar I've read about this ritual. He said it was
it's not wrong. It is all sorts of right.
Probably Ben Mesek, which means son of the cup, son who pours out the water. Eleazar will have to be the son of the cup, and he's not even related to me. And then God gives him an heir, Isaac.
What the fuck? What the son of a cup is going on here?
But Abraham didn't know any better because the concept of Sheol and Abraham's bosom, all of that had
cups. I know. None of it really has been solidified to that point.
Not yet been revealed to the prophets. God was teaching Abraham where he was and taking him from there.
Hold on, TV saying something. Let me see here. TV said, it's a circle. It's kind of impressive. It didn't appear earlier than it did, though we don't know it didn't. The hole that survives in the archaeological record and all that. But yeah, life would be kind of different if we hadn't figured out the utility of circles. That's what you're talking about. I did not see that coming. The utility of circles: no cogs, no clocks, no tires, nothing that starts with the letter C. Completely no circles ever. Could you imagine a circle-less society? We all got square eyes and shit. That's terrifying. What the fuck?
Now, this hydrophoria, this Yarid ritual was known even perhaps as far back as the time of the Watchers on Mount Hermon. Scholar named
Watchers time. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Edward Lipinski, very famous, they call him Orientalist, specialist in the ancient Near East.
Okay, can we not? Let's okay. It's you keep using that word, and it's just we don't use that word anymore. Okay.
Did a very important paper about El.
Yeah, it's mine. You're right. The circle-less world has it does exist, and it's called Minecraft.
And the abode of El, the Canaanite creator god, Mount Hermon. The explorer Sir Charles Warren in 1869 climbed Mount Hermon. In September of 1869, he found that he found an ancient temple dated to the Greek period. So, after Alexander the Great conquered the Levant, a temple with a stone there. It's like 4 feet high, 18 inches wide, 12 inches thick, granite or limestone. And inscribed on it were the words in Greek, "Those who, by the order of the Most High and Holy God, those who swore an oath proceed from here." Now, anyone who's studied Mount Hermon and the Watchers know who swore an oath on Mount Hermon. These angels who came down on Mount Hermon and said, well, 200 according to the Book of Enoch.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But
okay, there was only the one Watcher, okay, and he was just trying to make sure that the robot from Avengers 2. What the fuck is his name? Anyway, doesn't get the stones from Thanos, so that anyway.
Again, 70 is a representative number, meaning, all the gods of the nations. But these 200 were condemned to Tartarus afterward. Those are the prisoners that Jesus proclaimed to in 1 Peter 3:19. When he was dead in the flesh, but alive in spirit, went down and proclaimed to the prisoners.
The fuck is happening, dude? Like, what? He's like talking about Watcher. So he's like, I don't know if you know. That's when the angels came down. It's an archaeological find that we saw where the angels came down to. What the fuck? What? Now it's like, yeah, and that's like the part of the place where when Jesus was saying, what, man?
The Mount Hermon transgressors.
Yeah.
Down there was like, hey.
The way Dr. Michael Heiser puts it, he says, and I'm paraphrasing what Mike says, but it's like Jesus went down there and said, bet you didn't expect to see me here, but here's a news flash. On the third day, I'm getting out of here and you're still dead. So.
Okay. Now it's starting to sound like this was the mountain that Jesus went to when he was dead. Is that what he just said? Because I thought Jesus had to go, find the keys that he lost in hell when he was dead. But apparently he went over to some other mountain too and was like, haha, I'm going to be out of here in 3 days, bitch. Y'all are fucking stuck here. Oh, man, you guys suck. Okay, I'm going to go.
What the other thing that Sir Charles Warren found on the summit of Hermon is that the summit is scooped out like it would have been basically excavated to receive these offerings, this Yared, which is based on the same root as the name of the Jordan River. You remember that when you transliterate from Semitic or Hebrew to English, the Y becomes a J. It means to come down, to pour out.
Right, the Y becomes a J. The exact, just like Indiana Jones Part 3, it was an I. Jehovah starts with an I, which I found out from Bible scholars that that's actually complete nonsense. But anyway.
The Jordan River comes down from Hermon to the Sea of Galilee. So this ritual where you pour out this water may have been performed on the summit.
Oh, God, we're still on the water pouring out there. Really, like this whole, oh my God.
Hermon, and what Edward Lipinski, the scholar, wrote was that Warren also found on the summit this low stone wall that forced you to circumambulate to the summit as you walk up to it.
You had to circumambulate? That sucks. I hate circumambulating.
Which is similar to the ritual that's been performed down to this day in Mecca, where you have to circumambulate the Kaaba with the Kaaba always on your left. Well, that's exactly how you had to. So Sir Charles Warren in 1869.
Okay, what's circumambulating mean? Does that just mean you go there? Is that what circumambulate means? I don't know. It sounds like it should mean something different. I don't know what exactly, but
asked the question: is the practice at the Kaaba did it originate here? So interesting. Here's the other thing.
Interesting. Anyway, but way off topic. But back to Marvel movies. Let's get back to the Marvel movie thing we're apparently never going to fucking talk about.
We know, as I said, that this ritual was performed for the god of Tyre, Melkart, by one of the Roman emperors, I think 2nd century AD, which is long after the confrontation on Mount Carmel. But think about this.
Ironically, the god of Tyre, a hubcap.
Melkart was the city god of Tyre, the Baal of Tyre, the Lord of Tyre, at the time of Ahab and Jezebel, when Elijah confronted the priests of Baal on Mount Carmel.
It's Carmel, okay? I hate it when people pronounce it that way. Come on, man. Can you fucking just, and it goes great with salted dark chocolate, but that's a whole nother thing.
As part of this, he sent a servant down the mountain to get water from a river.
Yeah, you put salt on it. Yeah, no, I know you get all your electrolytes from one piece of candy. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry. I was just talking to Kevin.
To bring it up the mountain, like on Mount Hermon, and poured the water out on top of the. It wasn't to make it the wood harder to burn. It was to mock this.
There's tons of mice. What's up, Tons? How are you doing? No South Park characters.
Ritual that had been done for this god, Melkart. God reversing the rituals of the pagan gods to make a mockery of them. And then, of course, he used the weapon of the chief god of the Phoenicians and the Canaanites and the Amorites to consume sacrifice. You know, we think of fire from heaven like a flamethrower. No, he was using a lightning bolt, which was the chief god, a chief weapon of the storm god.
Oh, damn. All this time, we've been thinking of flamethrowers when we should have been thinking about lightning bolts. Fuck. Boy, I'm so glad that you cleared this up. TBS said, no A and no clitoris. No one ever goes, ah. Can't find any of it. It's all that secret knowledge that Jesus keeps tucked away.
Hadad, who's usually called Baal in the Bible.
Who's dad? Oh, her dad? Oh, who's her? I didn't. There wasn't a her in the story, I didn't think. Okay, you know what?
Oh, and here's the kicker. Melkart was just the Phoenician name of Hercules. So the priests...
But mail cart didn't really have the same tone. Everybody just sort of pictures some guy that's delivering mail, even though that's probably one of the most efficient programs that our federal government does. It's okay. I won't. All right. Kevin gets so mad when I go off about the postal service now. Phenomenal. I'm stopping. Okay. Anyway.
Questions? Keep going.
So the prophets of Baal who were destroyed on Mount Carmel may well have been priests of Hercules, who was one of the dying and rising gods, like Melkart. So the questions that Elijah was taunting his priests with make more sense.
I don't think it would make more sense. If anything, it would make less sense. You're literally talking about fucking Hercules as if it's real now. See what religion does to people's brains, y'all. It blenders it, okay? Just straight up blenders it. Now he's mixing fucking Greek demigods into this.
Oh, maybe he's sleeping. Oh, okay, maybe it's the wrong time of year and he's in the netherworld. He can't hear you. Or maybe he's on a journey.
He says maybe he's on the toilet. Okay. Do you remember? How did you miss? That was the best. That was the funniest thing God's ever said, according to the Bible, not actually in real life.
Remember the myth of Hercules, ready to go perform these labors to redeem himself after killing his wife and children because Hera drove him mad.
I don't remember that in the cartoon. That's at what point? I would love it if they would have included that. Like, oh, and he accidentally killed his whole family. And so that's what, like, you got to go do stuff. You got to go do like these competition things or whatever. That's crazy, dude.
So maybe he's off, trying to collect, the golden fleece or whatever. I forget what the myth says, but
that's Jason and the Argonauts. But okay, nice try.
It makes more sense when you understand what they knew back then that we have since forgotten because
you had to fight the skeletons with the swords and shields for the fleece thing. Remember? Because in the giant lady like picks him up and moves him to. There's the mechanical owl. What do you mean that's not? Oh my. No. All right, we'll talk about this later.
We don't have the worldview of the prophets and apostles.
Amazing. Amen.
Amazing. Amen. Jesus. Praise the Lord. I just randomly say the same things over and over again when people stop talking.
El was the chief god of the Canaanites?
Yeah, the creator god of the Canaanites.
Okay, so is there a connection in the Hebrew translations? El is translated as Lord God, correct?
Well, it depends. In some context, it probably does refer to, right.
Is God in flesh, right?
El became the generic term for God in the Semitic world.
Okay.
In fact, it became so prominent that some scholars now are convinced that the name of the old god of the Sumerians, Enlil,
okay,
which they used to believe was based on the Sumerian words En, which means Lord, and Lil, which means wind or ether or something.
Enlil sounds like that's got to be like a hillbilly count. Oh, where's Enlil? Is Enlil out there? Well, Ansel and Enlil, those are my two kids. Go find. They got 3 teeth between the 2 of them.
Something. They're now believing that that's actually just a corruption of the Semitic Il-Ilu, meaning God of gods.
Oh, that's interesting. Andrew said, yeah, see any similarities between Hercules and Samson? That must mean that he's real. That's because he's got to be real, right? Like, otherwise there wouldn't be those similarities, right? That's the only way those sort of things happen. So, but good eye. The similarities looking.
That, in other words, instead of being a Sumerian god, that Enlil, who was then replaced by Marduk in the Babylonian cosmology.
Also sounds like a hillbilly god or something. I ain't Marley. Where's Marley?
Which they just inherited from the Sumerians, more or less, was actually a Semitic god who was brought from the northwest, where we find Dagon, same god, different name. El, same god, different name. Kumarbi of the Hurrians and Hittites, same god.
Kumarbi. I don't even know what that said. Doesn't sound hillbilly, that's for sure. That's the first non-hillbilly god I've heard of so far.
Different name. Baal Haman of the Phoenicians, same god, different name.
Let's bail him out. Okay, you're pronouncing it incorrect.
Their points of origin all point to northern Syria or southern Turkey. Not far from the mountain where Baal the storm god, was supposed to have built his temple, Mount Stephan. So,
Mount Stephan is fabulous. You would love it. That place is just amazing.
This old god, this El or Il-Ilu, god of gods, this old, I argue, is actually Kronos.
This El-Ilu. What?
Of the Greeks, Saturn of the Romans, king of the Titans, who, like the Watchers from Mount Hermon, was condemned to Tartarus. 2 Peter 2:4 says that the angels who sinned were thrust down to hell. That's how most English translations read. But the Greek word translated hell is actually Tartarau, which means Tartarus, thrust down to Tartarus. In the Greek mind, that's a different place from Hades. That's a special level of netherworld prison reserved for the old gods, the supernatural threats to the divine order.
They're getting the extra hell.
Seriously, this Tartarus hell was one of the things I wrote.
No, Tartarus is a separate level reserved for those. That is the abyss.
The abyss. I remember reading about that. That's what they talk about in Revelation, and then they also talk about that apparently that's where, like, the scorpion-tailed human face or face of men, hair of women, teeth of lions, right? They sound like locusts or something, or a storm or something like that. Terrifying creatures. They come out of the pit, and I believe that's the 5th bowl in Revelation.
Die until
dies without being saved. They go to hell.
Yeah.
An angel dies, they go to Tartarus.
Well, I don't know if they die per se. I don't.
An angel dies. Like, what the fuck are you saying? And so when an angel dies, they go down to Tartarus, as long as they haven't accepted Trump as their Lord and Savior. It's reversed down there. Angels have to believe in Trump in their heart, and the holy MAGA hat will then interpret the angel scripture for them.
I don't know that they will actually die until they're thrown into the lake of fire, the second death. But yes, there is a special prison that's reserved for them.
Is that where Henry Gruber saw? Are you familiar with that stuff?
I'm not.
Let's see. Of course, Amber knows what's going on here. Let me see what she's talking about here. Amber said, the story of Marduk and Enlil is very different from what the cartoon man said. He does look like a cartoon all of a sudden, but it is very similar to how Yahweh started as a minor deity and usurped the divine kingship by cultist declaration. That I understood all of the words that you said. What? That's what Yahweh did. He usurped the divine kingship by cultist declaration. I didn't know that. Never heard about that part where Yahweh got the cultists to declare that he's actually the better God out of it, or what. I don't know how it worked. Okay.
Met Henry a couple times, but I've not heard that story.
Apparently he was translated down there and saw them chant. Pretty amazing stuff.
Well, it's similar to what Enoch reported in the book of First Enoch. With the
Did he just say reported? It's similar to what the journalist Enoch reported back in the day. They were just, that was
the flaming mountains in the netherworld. The mountains in the netherworld that are burning, which relates to the stones of fire that God talked about in Ezekiel 28, the divine rebel from Eden who walked amongst the stones of fire.
Are they separate entities, or is that Lucifer disguising himself? Is Lucifer Baal, pretty much?
Well, I argue that Lucifer is Baal, and it's mainly because of the connections we see in the Bible. In Isaiah 14, Lucifer, which is really kind of a mistranslation. The Hebrew is Halel ben Shachar, which means light bringer, son of the dawn. Shachar was actually a deity in the Canaanite religion, dawn.
No, that's incorrect. I even know that one. That Lucifer or whatever, that version of Satan out of it, that had not existed back then, dude. That's not. It wasn't Baal. Baal was Lucifer hiding. Like Lucifer was pretending. Like, why not just use the word Lucifer then, dude? Like, why would the Bible writers use a different name? Be like, well, Lucifer was playing hidesies at that point, so we just call him Baal. Like it would just be Lucifer at that point. But Lucifer didn't exist yet.
But when Jerome translated the Bible into the Latin, the Vulgate translation, he used the Roman, or the Latin equivalent of lightbringer, lux, ferus, light.
I got what you're saying. Okay, so there was no legend. Okay. Yeah, so there was no legend where Yahweh is given El's throne. The worshipers just declared Yahweh is El, and never mind every story tells of him being one of El's 70 sons, in kind of crap like that, and kind of a crap one at that. So that's the 70s son. Okay, because he was just talking about like somebody with fucking 70 sons. I remember because I made a Mormon joke, but so that was about a god. Got it. Okay, of course it was. Why wouldn't it be?
Bringer. And we English speakers have just sort of adopted that as a personal name, Lucifer.
Bringer.
Well, again, it really just means light bringer. But Isaiah 14 says that what he was trying to do was to establish his mount of assembly in the heights of the north, the sides of the north, the uttermost north. There are a few English translations that actually get it right. This
called the evermost north. The evermost cannot go norther than the north that is the northest. That's the name of it. That's right. That's what we decided to name it. I felt like it was pretty conclusive for a name.
Actually points back to the mountain that was sacred to the storm god Baal, or Hadad was his proper name. Baal just means Lord, which
his dad. Well, Baal Hadad. That's what we call his dad.
Sort of became a proper name over time, but it was also considered sacred to the storm gods of the
His name was Baal Hadad. Baal Hadad.
Hurrians, called Teshub, the storm god of the Hittites, called Tarhuns. The storm god of the Greeks, called Zeus, actually fought a major battle there against the god of chaos, Typhon.
Hey guys, I'm Tarhuns. Like, oh, Oh, we're gonna make fun of you so bad for that. You might as well just change your name right now. Okay. Because us here in God Middle School, we're gonna torture you for that one.
At Mount Zephon. Well, the phrase in Isaiah 14, translated sides of the north, heights of the north, uttermost north, Yarkate Zephon, is only used 3 times in the Bible. There, Psalm 48, where Mount Zephon was compared to Mount Zion. It's kind of some wordplay, actually. Har Zephon, Heart Zion. But the only other place it's used is Ezekiel 38 and 39. You can tell I don't speak Hebrew. Ezekiel 38 and 39, and Ezekiel identifies that as the place from which Gog of Magog will bring his troops.
Oh, right, the Gogs and the Magogs. Yep, I know about that. Know all about that, and they're spinning wheels. They got the they're flying saucers. Really, I mean, that's where the aliens are in the Bible. What? They're not. That's not. Are you sure? Okay. Well, I feel like I saw it on the History Channel. Hello, talk about academic scholarship. History Channel, I feel like counts. It does. What do you mean it doesn't count? Okay, you know what? We're gonna have a conversation later.
You will come from the uttermost north. Yeah, you will come from Yarkate Zephon, Mount Zephon. Now, here's an interesting thing. Baal, the storm god, was the chief god, the king of the gods, called a son of El in the Canaanite religion, but he became the king of the gods by defeating the god of death and defeating the god of the sea. Similar to the tension in Greek mythology, by the way, between the storm god Zeus, the god of the sea, Poseidon, and the god of death, Hades. In Canaanite religion, Baal had to defeat the god of death, Mot, and the god of the sea, called Yam, in order to become the king of the gods.
You had to defeat the yams. Okay, I don't know. I've been through some Thanksgiving dinners where I had to defeat the yams too. Trick is to pick the marshmallows out of there. They're what rocket, really. That's what adds the flavor that you're just like, what is going on here? It's the marshmallows. Just get rid of those. You can defeat it. It's no problem. Angier said, is the Netherlands the netherworld? Sure. I don't know. No, I think those are 2 different places, if you ask me. But yeah.
The Greeks got their religion from the Canaanites. Well, Amorites, really. But so anyway, that mountain, Mount Zephon, was so important to the Hebrews because it was so important to their neighbors in Canaan that Zephon became the word for the compass point north. In every other Semitic language from the ancient Near East, the word for north is Simal. But in Hebrew, it's Zephon. That's how important that was because of its relationship to that God. So in the New Testament, Jesus, confronted by the Pharisees, says, oh, he's casting out demons by the power of Beelzebul, which means Baal the prince. Baal the prince of demons, I guess. Jesus also in...
Beelzebul means... I'm looking this up. I don't think he's right. Is Beelzebul... Baal... and it's pronounced Baal, okay? I have it on high authority. Yes, but with a catch. Beelzebub is actually a highly specific, demonized version of the ancient Canaanite god Baal. Okay, fine, you got one right. That's it. Just that one you got right.
Revelation 2, in the letter to the church at Pergamum, says, I know where you live. It's where Satan's seat. It's where Satan dwells. Satan's seat in Pergamum. Well, that was the great altar of Zeus, who, like Baal, was a storm god. So Satan to Jesus, and Jesus, by replying to the Pharisees, connected Beelzebul, Baal the prince, to Satan. So Jesus identified the storm god as Satan. Isaiah 14, storm god Lucifer. So yes, Lucifer is Baal, is Satan. It's all connected. Now
it's all connected, man. I'm losing it, bro. About to make a volcano out of mashed potatoes on my living room table. That's right. Ton said Magog's were Doctor Who's scariest enemies. I don't remember those. I remember I do like the Rock Angel ones. Those are pretty cool. I feel like I've talked about that before. The ones where you have to keep blinking. You can't stop looking at, you know what I mean? Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Anyway, okay, y'all. Thanks for hanging out, putting up with this nonsense with me. Although it was pretty fun, right? It was kind of fun. What the hell happened? Is something? Oh, okay. I'm so confused. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. I do got a new video that is coming out, in 2 days. And then I still have actually another video that is themed for this month, but I wasn't able to finish it in time. But I'll mention that in the video and everything. But yeah. So, but I'll let you know when that comes out and everything. But yeah, check out the video that is coming out today. If you're a member, it comes out today. If you're not a member, it'll come out in a couple days. But yeah, let me know what you think. Oh, there's Blood Badger. You just now getting here? What the fuck? What are you doing? It's like, bye. Like, okay. Can you just tone down the sarcasm? All right, Jesus Christ. But no, thank you all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, there's a bunch of different ways you could do that. And I can't show them to you because for some reason the fucking screen is frozen. It's really weird when it does that. Literally gets rid of the up there. I got it back. Oh, thank goodness. The bar to drag the bar up and down gets messed up for some reason. There you go. There it is. Wait. There it is. Blink. Yeah. If you want to support the channel, a bunch of different ways you can do that. Again, watch the video, comment, subscribe, all that shit. And become a member because we got tons of videos coming out now that are just for members only. I made a video the other day that I thought was pretty good, but it still had some issues that I don't know. I was like, let me just put it for members. So it's pretty much just for members until I think next year or something like that. Scheduled it to come out. So anyway, but yeah, thanks again for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. And remember, the main thing is honestly to where'd it go? Oh, stay logical, stay loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.